Welcome to Pensar Basketball Live, and today we are doing our first ever Pacers postgame live. This was strange. We did not do an OG and an OB New York postgame live, but something about this game made me want to really watch. I was very curious to see how would Pascal Siakam perform, how would the Pacers perform, and I expected them to dominate this game. They did not. Tyrese Haliburton coming back, Pascal Siakam, let's talk about this game. There was a lot of early troubles for the Pacers. Their offense, their super high octane offense, did not really look good. I think there are a couple players that stood out. The second part of this will be a trade show, which is going to be really interesting. So, as we all know, the Raptors have a ton of tradable pieces. The Raptors are probably not contending. They look to be sellers at the deadline. And I believe that this trade for Pascal Siakam for these picks was largely made with trade targets in mind. The contract of Bruce Brown, potentially Gary Trent Jr., expiring contracts like Otto Porter, Thaddeus Young, potentially even players like Dennis Schroeder, Jakob Pertl. Every one of these players can be explored in our today's trade show. And what I would love is if people can call in and we'll negotiate it out. As always, to keep things fair, I will play the rival general manager. You will call in as Bobby Webster and Masai Ujiri, and we can have a nice little talk about it. Okay. In terms of what went right and what went wrong, honestly, everything that went wrong for the Indiana Pacers has to do with defense. Their defense was absolutely ass. They gave up the most points in the paint that I believe the Portland Trailblazers had scored. Was it the most points the Portland Trailblazers had scored or the most points that an Indiana opponent had scored? It was atrocious. Their paint defense was really bad, which is weird because I was expecting with Miles Turner and Pascal Siakam, even with a lot of really, really troubling point of attack defenders like Buddy Hield and Tyrese Haliburton are very compromised defenders, you still expect that they're going to put up a respectable, showing inside. Miles Turner is not a great rebounder, but he's a pretty dominant shot blocker. So really, all you need is a really good rebounder next to him, and Pascal Siakam should become that. Now that he's not being tasked with doing as much, but yeah, really not great. Let's take a look at the individual performances. Pascal Siakam was very, very efficient. He hit his first 3 shots, including a 3. Missed every 3 from that point on. Was kind of really bad at the line. Played 34 minutes, picked up a lot of ticky-tack fouls. I think he was like trying on defense, like really trying on defense. Couple of late rotations. We'll definitely talk about it. Aaron Nesmith, very impressive. Very impressive. Makes you really, really think the Raptors could have used a player like that back in that deal. Miles Turner, excellent performance. 29 points, 12 rebounds, 5 blocks, wetting threes. I really appreciated the broadcast crew. I don't know if you guys watched it on Sportsnet or if you watched it on Stream East or where you watched it, but I really appreciated the broadcast crew because unlike the Raptors broadcast crew, they seem to be very interested in inundating and educating the audience on analytics. I really appreciate that. It makes me almost want, I wish that the Raptors broadcast crew could ping pong. Okay, I know this will never happen, but I wish they could ping pong between an analyst or a color commentator who, okay, so Alvin Williams adds absolutely nothing, in my opinion. So, other than like random anecdotes and like ribbing. So, what I would love is if they could bring in like a person who really gets the X's and O's. Like, damn it, hire Samson. Okay. Bring in someone who does the X's and O's one game, and then bring in someone who does analytics the next game. So, you get like all the second spectrum data. Bring me in. Yeah. Ping pong between me and Samson. So you get all the X's and O's on one game, and then the next game you're just getting like the entire, analytics trend. I think that would be really, really fun. Jordan L, you're so unhinged. Get the fuck out. Like really, like fuck off, man. All right. You weird. Okay. No one talks shit about anybody. I said it was a tough game. Like, stop. Jeez. Okay. Tyrese Haliburton. I feel like, how do you say someone who had 21 points and 17 assists had a tough game? I think he had a tough game. Um, but yeah, that's how great he is. That 21 points and 17 assists means he had a tough game. But he healed, excellent. I think the Pacers just take so many threes. Like they take so many threes. They're just like going around, launch, launch, launch. I feel like they didn't get enough paint touches and penetration on their threes, like towards the second half. And they really didn't get much off the bench. In fairness, they didn't like. I'm surprised Jarris Walker didn't get minutes. Personally, just having watched a lot of Jarris Walker in the G League, the game that he played last game, also having watched a lot of Obi Toppin, I don't understand why Obi Toppin plays over Jarris Walker. That bench really bled minutes. And to me, the worst player, forget the 0 for 8, was Benedict Mathurin. Like, ugh, yikes. Shot selection galore, man. So many terrible shots. Ugh, terrible. So I would have loved to see Jarris Walker get some minutes. It cannot be a downgrade on the defenders they have. He can provide a little bit of paint defense. Not really sure why Rick Carlisle is so insistent on not playing him. Interesting that the Raptors could not get a guy who can't even play in this game. I mean, they were missing guys. They were missing Andrew Nemhard, and I think Nemhard is a pretty complete defender, and I think he's a good table setter. I think he would have really helped them tonight. So certainly not an indication of where the Pacers season's going. They're very high octane offense, and implementing a piece like Siakam, it's hard. It's really hard. It's not like implementing someone like, I don't know. It's not like implementing someone like OG where it's just like plug and play. You know what I mean? OG is so low usage. He doesn't really need on ball reps. He can function with like 3 shots, 8 shots, 10 shots. He's a great defender. He's not really the profile of a Pascal Siakam. He's more like a wing creator, initiator. So I thought so interestingly enough, there's been a lot of talk around Raptors Twitter for years about what's the gap between Pascal Siakam and Jeremy Grant. I'm really glad I banned Jordan for this comment. I've always maintained that the gap is not huge, but that the gap was always in Siakam's favor. And this game isn't changing my mind. But I do think that this game should hopefully show people that Jeremy Grant is a pretty damn good player. His passing, his awareness, again, the broadcast crew brought up he's third in the NBA in terms of tough shots taken. DeMar DeRozan, Brandon Ingram, and then Jeremy Grant. Not necessarily the greatest thing, but tonight the defense was just so bad. Jeremy Grant just carved them up. 37 points, just pretty efficient. She-Wolf, watch the Blazers and Pacers and Blazers podcast. Blazers have won 14 of the last 15 games versus the Pacers. Good showcase for Grant and Brogdon before the trade deadline. Hell yes, right? And I couldn't help but watch some of the Blazers players, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like I would love to get some of these players on the team. Let's talk about them. Money Kamara, man, I know he went 1 for 3. I know he had 4 points and 4 rebounds, but I felt this guy. I really did. I really liked his game. Sorry, just responding to the trolls here. This is fun. Jabari Walker, a dog. I really like Jabari Walker too. So fun fact. So at one point the camera caught Jabari Walker and Jeremy Grant talking. And I pointed to my girlfriend. I was like, do you know both their dads used to play in the NBA? Fun fact. The second, Chauncey Billups played in the league with both their dads. Their dads being Harvey Grant and Samaki Walker. You learn something new every day. All right. Scoot Henderson. Can anyone explain why he didn't play in the second half? I really liked his first half, man. He was really good. I don't get it. Why are rookies getting burned out and iced out? Defense, maybe not so much, but offensively, like he was really assertive. He got downhill. It felt like, you know, oh shoot, was it? Oh, okay. I must have missed that. Okay, makes sense. Thank you. Um, yeah, I was like, I tuned out for halftime, and then I came back at like the 11-minute mark of the third quarter. So if they brought that up during that broadcast, I wouldn't have known. DeAndre Ayton. I mean, interesting game. I think he missed the last game because of icy road conditions. I think a lot of people were laughing about that. And Matisse Thybulle, like a really low usage, high motor defender, probably one of my favorite defenders in the NBA. Um, Super low usage though, 28 minutes, 2 shots attempted. That's unbelievable. He's not the worst shooter. I just don't understand why offense does not really click with him. Nevertheless, Malcolm Brogdon and Jeremy Grant. What a game. I know that Jeremy Grant is going to get the headlight because he got 37 points, but I think Malcolm Brogdon was the best player in this game for either side. I think he outplayed Tyrese Haliburton. I think he outplayed Pascal Siakam. I think he was just so good. He's so good. Isn't he so good? He's such a freaking good player, man. So, yeah, I mean, health issues, durability issues. Yeah, there's a ton of issues with Malcolm Brogdon, man, but I really hope like his like, when you feel for guys when they get a little bit like closer to that 30, 32 range, you want them to go to a team where they can compete and be competitive, especially for a guy like Malcolm Brogdon and Jeremy Grant. Obviously, Jeremy Grant had options. Jeremy Grant could have easily gone and potentially, I don't know, he could have played somewhere else. He didn't have to take the money. He chose the money, and he's choosing to rebuild, and he's getting paid a ton of money. He's massively, massively overpaid. But you know what? Still a very, very useful player. And yeah, like I mean, I've watched quite a bit of Jeremy Grant, but I really like how his passing is coming along. You know, um, nice one saying Pascal got cooked tonight. I think he tried, man. I think he tried, but I think like so here are my observations on Pascal Siakam, and we can pretty much talk about the team stats and then we move on. I was curious to watch this game because I had this belief. Now, I firmly thought the Pacers were going to win. I thought Pascal was going to dominate possessions, and then we found out that Tyrese Haliburton's coming back too, and I was like, "Oh boy, how's this going to work?" I think it actually would have worked a lot better for the Pacers tonight, and they might have even won if Tyrese had not played. Here's what I would have done if I was coaching them. I would have put the ball in Siakam's hand, and I would have said, "You create," right? When a guy doesn't understand your offense and he's not intuitively the most natural basketball player, you don't necessarily want him doing a lot of off-ball stuff when he hasn't learned your offense, especially so when he hasn't learned your defense, especially so when, I mean, you play at such a high pace. Like the higher pace you play, the more cuts, the more reads, the more, he was just, he didn't know where to be. And that's not shade on him. He's not Bruce Brown. He's not Scotty Barnes. He's not OG Anunoby. These guys just naturally sort of blend in, fit in. They have like really good basketball habits. He's going to have to work at this. And I was saying for a while that any team that trades for Siakam is going to want to do it like with a lot of head start. Coaches know this. They probably would have put pressure on their general managers to make this happen. Because basically, when you try to implement a player like this, who's going to be taking high usage, who isn't the most natural basketball player, and when I say that, please understand, when I say natural basketball player, I mean like someone who just doesn't instinctively cut into the right space or make the right reads or whatever. There's a couple times where he sucked a defender in and he found, Miles Turner for an open three, and that's great. Yeah, people are going to focus on the free throws. He's been struggling a little bit with his free throws all season. Um, but I don't even think that's it. I think he just, he didn't dominate possessions. He didn't really like impose himself on this game. I think if you're the Pacers, you have to be patient. You have to be patient. If you're a Raptor fan right now, bittersweet moment. You wanted Siakam to get this moment. Okay. You also maybe want the Raptors to get a better pick. There's a lot of reasons for Raptor fans to either be rooting for or rooting against the Pacers, depending on how you feel. We own a lot of, let's just say, we own some Pacers stock now. Okay, that's the best way to look at it when you own another team's pick. Just like the Spurs own our pick, the Spurs have stock in the Raptors. They need us to be bad in order for their pick to be good. Well, the Raptors own two, 2024 and 2026 picks from the Indiana Pacers. So obviously, if the Pacers go on a massive run right now, and they end up like running the table, and they like run roughshod over the East, and they win 10 straight games, well, then naturally that pick is going to end up somewhere in the mid 20s. However, let's say there's like a really long adjustment period to implement Siakam. Well, they're already seventh, right? What if they fall ninth, 10th? What if the Raptors pass them? I mean, I have no idea. This could get bad. This could get great. I have a feeling that with this much shooting, it's going to be fine, right? It's going to be fine. Once Andrew Nemhart comes back, Pascal gets implemented, it's going to be fine. Rob, if Pascal falls off a cliff come 2026, how high do you think their pick goes? So here's the thing. I have quite a bit of belief in Jarris Walker, but not like the level of belief I have in maybe someone like Victor Wembanyama or something like that. So there's not like a A1 type of prospect on this team other than Tyrese Haliburton. And I mean, he doesn't have to fall off a cliff, man. He just has to be like, I don't know, like a net neutral type of player, like a zero value over replacement type of guy. Wilson, why? Made a lot of sense to trade Siakam, but still felt bad seeing him in another team's uniform. Yeah, I get that. I actually felt a little bit strange too. It was like, man, I've seen this guy like from his no hair, almost no hair, to like growing out the fro to getting the headband. I've seen him in so many iterations of Raptors 43, but seeing him in an Indiana 43. But you know, it's crazy. Like, you know, you see this guy photoshopped in Indiana Hawks. Like, I've seen so many photoshopped Siakam in other jersey, clutch points, whatever, that it's almost like I've seen him in like 10 other jerseys already. I've seen him in a New York jersey. I've seen him in a Portland jersey. I've seen him in all sorts of jerseys. But something felt very strange about seeing him wear a bright, you know, yellow jersey that says Indiana on. I was like, whoa, this is strange. And I asked my girlfriend, I'm like, is this strange? And she said, I don't know, not really. And I was like, I'm like, how many games have we watched together? Like, you've seen him in a Raptors jersey. She's like, yeah, it was strange to watch OG in another jersey. And I'm like, huh. And then she just mentioned, she's like, it's because you really liked OG. So she was like, I really like the players that you like, and I guess I feel for them too. So I guess that makes sense. Steele, I'm really excited to see Scotty and OG matchup tomorrow. Yeah, that's going to be really interesting, man. Scotty took it to Alex Caruso last game. I'm very curious to see if, with his big New York moment, also Scotty and Jama Malalela went to go see Hamilton like an hour ago. Isn't that cool? In New York. Very cool. Jesse A has woken up from a long slumber. Did you say Siakam is gone? What does that mean? Like, you don't know he got traded? Oh, Billy OG clamping Scotty. You know what? So here's the thing. OG is a very, very meticulous and researched defender. I know Scotty kind of laughed it off in the previous post game. He was just like, ain't nothing. But I don't think he's gonna like clamp him, but he's definitely gonna strip him at least once. Also, I'm like losing faith in my projections because I very confidently declared before this game, and I was so sure. I was like, there's nothing in the world that's gonna stop the Pacers from winning this game. Boy, do I feel like an idiot. Jeez. Okay. In terms of the team stats, I mean, look, man, the Pacers just got dominated in the paint. Like, I just want to straight up say it. Like 66 points in the paint. 66. It was like a layup line. Backline defense was just broken. The communication sucked. They didn't turn the ball over very much. They had more, like the Blazers had more blocks dead even on the steals. Indiana passed the shit out of the basketball, man. 34 assists to the Blazers 18. They went highly on the ISO game with Jeremy Grant and Malcolm Brogdon taking their turns. In terms of rebounds, I mean, the Pacers lost that battle too. Danish saying Gary stays. Rob, you think Pirtle's getting traded? I don't think so. I don't think he's getting traded. I think like Pirtle fits with what they want to do. However, if he does get traded, there are several teams that may be in the services. Oh my God. Spooky. I'm in Vancouver, so yes. Dude, he got traded like 2 days ago. Oh my gosh. Okay. You have a lot of lives to catch up to before this one makes sense. Okay, let's open up the phone lines. If you want to call in, if you have a trade, we're gonna fire up the trade machine and we're gonna get to it. Yeah. So yeah, in terms of anything else, I mean that just sticks out. Players that really just I would love, Tumani Kamara really stuck out to me. Leo, 80-70. Didn't watch the Pacers game. How was Pascal's defense? I think he tried, but he picked up a lot of fouls, and his paint defense was really bad. Rotations were really bad. There were a couple times where, Turner went for a block, and he was supposed to box out. The other guy gets a rebound, and it's just like, c'est la vie. Someone messaged me during halftime, and they were just like, Rob, you thought like Pascal was quiet quitting, or he said we thought Pascal was quiet quitting on defense in the Raptors. It's like turns out he can't play defense. I don't think he can't play defense. I definitely think he can play defense. I know he can play defense. His off-ball awareness is not the greatest, offensively and defensively. I feel like on ball, he's great. Like if you say, hey, Pascal, that guy right there, move your feet with him. Awesome. Like decent, not awesome, decent. If you say, hey, guard this guy in the post and stick a hand in his face, or guard him on a post ISO and, guard his mid-range turnaround, he had some competent stretches there. Like I think some guys just hit tough shots. Jeremy Grant hit some really tough shots over him, you know? All good, Rob. Can't read every single comment. I understand. I don't understand what's going on here. I asked Jesse if they were snowed in. Did something happen in Vancouver that I'm not aware of? Maybe I'm the one who's been under a rock. Garthel, I think. Garthy 1-2. Imagine Flynn getting a revenge game. Yo, you know what's funny? Malachi Flynn got a shout out from Ben Stiller. Isn't that cool? I think it literally said Malachi Flynn, all right, on his Twitter. That's kind of funny. Big moment for Frank. Hi from Spain. Could you make a live about how to develop a 11 and 14-year-old boy? I have 2 boys that play basketball. I'd like to help them get better. Hey, Frank. Tell you what. I have an inkling, or maybe maybe I have at some point in the next couple months. I think I'm going to be doing an interview with Scotty's trainer. So once this video goes live, if you can, I don't know, if you can write me an email about like what your specific skill sets that you're trying to develop, what maybe your challenges are doing. I don't want to give you general advice. First of all, I'm not the person to give you advice. I mean, I might be able to give you advice, but I think Brian will be a lot better for that. So, like maybe just ask, and I can ask. Do you know what I mean? Or if you, I don't know. Yes, just like shoot me a comment after this, just so it doesn't get lost in this. You know what I mean? Yeah, so if anyone wants to propose a trade, call in. I think the link is in the description. I can double check if it's not. Hang on. And I'm going to fire up the trade machine. Yeah, overall, I think I rate Pascal's, game with the Pacers like an overall B. Like I think he had a B. It's not quite like OG's debut with the Knicks, but I also think it's just because he's not as portable a player. So it's going to take time. I'm kind of selfishly hoping it's going to take a little more time and then their pick gets a little bit worse. But yeah, hang on. So let me fire up the trade machine here, and I am going to bring Jace on. Jace, what's up?
Yo, so
What's going on?
I just was watching the game, getting food and stuff. Meanwhile,
Cool. Do you get the point of this live? The point of this live is to trade some
yeah,
player.
I have a trade proposed.
You have a trade proposed. Okay.
Yeah. So this is a 3-way deal, but you actually can't do it like fully because Bruce Brown can only be traded like by himself. So
That's not entirely true.
Oh.
Yeah, so basically the rules and stipulations around Bruce Brown being traded are as follows. If he goes to another team, no other Raptor currently on your roster can go to that team. That's the rule.
Oh, to that specific team?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Then it works then for me. So, all right. So it's gonna be so 3-way between the Hawks, Raptors, and Lakers.
Okay. So I will have to operate as the Hawks and the Lakers here. Okay, cool.
All right. So we got Bruce Brown going to the Lakers.
That's a good idea because they really, really want him.
We got Max Christie and Rui Hachimura going to the Raptors. And then we got so towards the Hawks, we got Chris Boucher, Thaddeus Young, Otto Porter.
Chris Boucher, Thaddeus Young, Otto Porter. Oh, this is like a mega deal. Okay.
Yeah, and then we got the 2024 OKC first from the Raptors going to the Hawks.
Oh, you're getting DeJounte Murray, aren't you?
And then we're
Wait,
sending...
hold on. Which one? The OKC one? So the worst of the second. Okay.
Yeah, and then the 2024 second round pick from Detroit, the Raptors, the Hawks.
Okay, I know where you're going with this. Okay.
And then, also, sorry, for the Lakers, we also got a 2029 first from that too.
We get a 29 first.
Yeah, 2029.
Okay.
But that's actually going to the Hawks as well.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it's going to the Hawks. Yeah, it's really that one's really valuable, I know for sure. And then we get DeAndre Hunter and Onyeka Okongwu.
Oh damn. Oh damn. Oh damn. Okay. Hunter and Okongwu.
That should work. Just want to make sure that it looks right.
Yep, it works. Okay.
Yeah, I think
so yeah. All right, let's see here. So the Hawks get Chris Boucher, Thaddeus Young, Otto Porter. So basically 3 expirings.
Yeah.
Explain to me why they need 3 expirings.
Because it said there was like a lot of reports where they were going to be sellers or something, so they could get like a first round.
But what do they need these expirings for? Expirings are very useful if you are trying to get under the cap or if you're trying to shed salary. I mean, obviously they shed DeAndre Hunter's salary here.
I mean, they get expiring, so those are valuable, right? Because they want to get off DeAndre Hunter's contract.
Right, but why would they take expirings back for that? That's my question.
So right? They would want a good player for that contract, even though it's a negative contract.
Yeah.
So they I mean, I
understand what you're saying, but they're giving up on Onyeka Okongwu, dude.
Yeah, I know. That's why they're getting like the 3, basically the firsts, and the 2029 are protected.
Okay, first of all, these
was basically
these are not firsts. These are basically seconds. This is a weak draft. The OKC pick is going to be like 27th. You're giving them the 27th pick and the 31st pick, and you're giving them yeah.
That's unprotected, so that's like
Yeah, I say no
really
as the
good.
Hawks. I definitely say no as the Hawks. I don't see the value of Boucher and Otto and Thad. I don't. I would
So
much prefer something else.
like what?
And like literally like a young player, because I mean like see, here's the thing. DeAndre Hunter is a negative contract, but he's not an albatross contract. He's not Davis Bertans. He's still a productive, decent player, right? It's not quite like I think if you had asked someone before the season, RJ Barrett or DeAndre Hunter, I think they would have been like tomato, tomato, right?
Really?
Yeah, I really do believe that. I mean, he's 25 years old, man. 25 years old. He's a decent defender. Honestly, like he's not that bad. So, I mean, he's not good. He's not worth 20 million, but he's worth like 12, right? But here's the funny thing. Bruce Brown. Okay, so I say no as the Hawks. I also say no as the Lakers.
Really?
Yeah, because there's first of all, I like Max Christie. I'm okay with Rui Hachimura going out. Like he was really good for me last year, but this year it's been like a little bit worse. And I really like Bruce Brown, but I'm giving up like my only trade bargaining chip, and it's such a valuable one, man. The 2029
I mean,
first round pick.
this would be like the last resort for them, kind of like if they miss out on Jadonte Murray, then
No, I
if
get
that
that, but
happens,
they
I feel like they
desperately
would need
need
a
shooting. They desperately need shooting, and they're giving up some shooting here.
yeah. I don't know how to
And they're
count
not
this.
getting a hell of a lot of shooting back.
Yeah, it's a
So
three-way deal, so I don't know like how I would fix this, but
yeah,
yeah,
it's
can't really.
tough. I mean, like if I'm the Hawks, I'm immediately saying no to Onyeka Okongwu. So basically, you're operating as the Raptors here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to ask the Raptors for more shit. Basically, that's how this is gonna get fixed. Okay, so let's go back. You want Onyeka Okongwu, am I
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
And get off
so
that other contract with DeAndre Hunter.
yeah, so let's see what you got. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, you want Onyeka Okongwu. Then I want Grady Dick instead of Thaddeus Young. I want Grady Dick.
Damn.
Yeah, so I'm gonna undo that. I'll make you a counter offer. So
All right, throw in AJ Griffin then.
no,
We'll
you're just
throw in like an extra first or something.
no. You're throwing in an extra
Really?
first anyway.
Oh my god. You
Um,
can't just take the boy Grady Dick, man, and not give anything back.
I
It's
mean, you're
crazy.
taking Onyeka Okongwu, who is a significantly more proven and better player than Grady Dick. Okay, you know what? Like, yeah, that. Okay, so that's
Bro, you just take a first round pick and Grady Dick back? No way.
I
I
mean,
was gonna
dude,
give
like
you like
you're
three
not really
firsts.
valuing Onyeka Okongwu, dude.
I'm
And
getting
these
three
picks are not
firsts.
valuable, bro. Like
Oh
you
my
could,
god.
bro, you can take your other pick back. Like you can take your second round pick back. I don't give a shit about the second round pick. Take it back. You can take that back. But I want a 2027 second round. Boom. Yeah, there you go. So you can keep your high second round pick this year, but I want another second round pick.
Yeah,
Like
that's a
what kind of value do you think Chris Boucher and Otto Porter have right
no,
now, bro?
okay.
Like you're giving up nothing.
I thought like expirings would have been better than DeAndre Hunter's contract, so they would have thought that it's like it's fine.
Oh yeah, it is better than DeAndre. Like if you
Okay, so
okay, you want to
if
give me
no,
straight?
no,
Okay,
okay,
fine.
if that neutralizes out, how is Grady Dick plus expirings plus 3 first round picks equal Kongwu? That's like way too much of an overpay. Like
Dude,
you
it's
could,
not an overpay at all.
bro. Lowry goes for like 5 firsts or something, and then I would just trade for that instead. What's the point?
But those are 5 good firsts. You're giving me trash firsts. You just gave me a
Okay.
27th pick in like a terrible draft, and then you gave me
All
a
right.
second. Come on, man. Like I'm giving you Onyeka Okongwu, and you're giving me Grady Dick, an often injured Otto Porter, and Chris Boucher. You think Chris Boucher and Otto Porter are going to play major minutes for me? Like for real? Like look at my roster. Look at my roster. Like who are they
Okay,
playing over?
is there a way you can swap like Gary Trent for Chris Boucher or something? That'd be better.
No, I have Bogdanovich,
He's
man.
shooting though. He's shooting 42% from three. this year.
I mean,
And he's a
completely
young player,
irrelevant.
and he's a young player. He can develop.
Bro, how many players do you think I want to develop? I got Kobe Buffkin, AJ Griffin, Jalen Johnson. I swear you Raptor people really think your players are like super great and everyone else's players are super trash. Like, dude, I don't get that. If okay, now from the Lakers side, I just want to drop this first round pick and I'll offer you a second instead. I'll give you like multiple seconds. I'll give you my 2024 second, and I will give you this. And I'm just going to trust that you value Rui Hachimura and Max Christie.
No, actually,
You
I'll
have
probably take that.
massively overestimated how much I give a shit about Bruce Brown.
I would take that though as a Raptors. Like if you're getting Christie, Hachimura in a couple seconds for Bruce Brown.
Yeah, I
Pretty good
really
rate.
don't even think you're going to get a couple seconds, dude. Like, yeah, like I'm just trying to think,
Really?
like, how do they feel? How do they feel about Rui Hachimura? Like, this
No,
is
I don't
what
think they like him, honestly. Because
yeah,
the Lakers have such a bias. Like if it's like if they're having a down year, they just want to get rid of them because they need to get like wins quick, you know. So they don't have any patience for like developing or anything.
yeah. I don't think it's 15 million a year, dude. It's more. It's more than 15 million. There's no way in hell. He's not making 15 million, dude.
I think you can check too if you hit the dots on it and you click view contract.
Hmm?
So you click on go on yek.com, if you click on the dots and you click view profile, it should say it on the contract or yeah, on the side here. So it goes to 14, it goes increasing to 16.8.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He's so underpaid.
Yeah, even because that's why they signed the extension. Like they try to get him a quick extension because they wanted to
That's crazy. Oh my god.
like
Okay, but
locked up for that many years.
he's so valuable then.
That's
Okay.
good.
All right. Okay. Yeah, this feels fair to me. Okay, let me try this. Success. Okay. So the modified trade is as follows. The Raptors get DeAndre Hunter, Rui Hachimura, Onyeka Okongwu, Max Christie, and a second round pick via the Clippers in 2024. The Hawks get 2 first round picks. Yeah, this feels and Grady Dick. Okay, fine. I was just gonna say
Fair,
this
right?
is stupid. And the Lakers get, you know what, from the Hawks, I want that Lakers pick. Hang on. That Lakers second. So the Lakers second that was going to the Raptors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I want it on the Hawks. It's just like I think Onyeka is more valuable than anything I'm getting back in this deal, and I just don't see why the hell I'm doing it. Okay, there we go. So let's try it now. Still works. Yeah, I would do this. If I'm the Hawks, I would do this. I
With the
replace a
Raptors.
little bit of Onyeka Okongwu with Chris Boucher, albeit with a much older player. I get a little bit of shooting and upside with Grady Dick, and I'm just gonna pray that he works out.
What do you think about Max Christie though? Like what do you actually think about him? I haven't seen like much like.
So why did you call in and try to propose a trade for him if you don't know who he is?
I just see him like randomly like on the Lakers sometimes when I see like their highlights. Something this guy just goes off randomly for like 10 points in like 5 minutes or something.
Okay. I mean, he's all right. Like he's an all right player. I mean,
He's young though. He's 20, right? I'm pretty sure he's really young.
Yeah, but not every 20-year-old player is going to be like a good player, right? Like he's pretty, I don't know how to say like mid. You got to like look at big market bias, right? Like big market bias.
I mean, he's a guard with 6'8" wingspan, 6'6" guard with 6'8" wingspan.
No,
and
for
he's
sure.
young,
And you know, like he's got some value, but he's having a worse year this year than he did last year. Does that mean anything to you? I don't know. Right?
Yeah.
Like to some extent. Like his usage is higher this year. His win shares are lower. His boxes minus is lower. His value replacement is basically Grady Dick levels. Like
right now, Grady Dick.
Yeah.
Oh
so
God.
He's negative 0.4 value replacement.
Yeah, because
negative 4.8 boxes minus. Yeah, he's been really bad. I think he's playing largely due to the fact that they really, really, really don't have shooting, and he's like a high volume attempts guy from 3. But last year he was like a 42% 3-point shooter, and this year he's like
I know.
Closer to 33.
Saw that. He was shooting the 3 really well last year.
Yeah, but right now he's like closer to 33. So yeah.
What do you think about Rui?
Yeah. Rui, I'm not a fan.
Really?
I've never liked him, to be honest. And
He's
last
like a 3-level
year,
scorer though, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He is for sure. I think by far the best player you're getting back in this deal is Onyeka. The second best player you're getting back in this is probably DeAndre Hunter. Yeah.
Oh damn. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, do you agree to this deal?
I don't know. I really don't want to give up on Grady Dick if I'm the Raptors, honestly.
Okay, so you reject this deal.
I don't know if that's okay. I don't know.
Okay, cool.
No idea.
Okay, thanks a lot for calling in, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
yeah.
Cheers. Mohammed, what's up?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, I had a trade proposal to
Please
I
tell
know
me it's
the
not a 3-team trade.
no, it's like
Thank God.
it's between Charlotte and Toronto. I'll be Toronto, you be Charlotte.
Okay, great. Perfect. Yeah, I hate 3-team trades because I have to be 2 GMs, and then I'm like, how am I supposed to be 2 GMs? I'm basically fighting against myself. So it's much easier to be a 1-for-1 deal. Okay, perfect. What is your trade?
My trade is Bruce Brown to Charlotte, and honestly, I would trade. I wanted to trade Brown and the 2 picks that Toronto got from Indiana
Mm-hmm.
for PJ Washington and Nick Richards because we need a small forward and we need a second big. Question is, I don't know if Charlotte it would accept that.
Okay, hang on. Okay, so both picks that we
Yeah,
just got, plus Bruce Brown for PJ Washington.
and Nick Richards.
Okay. All right. Cool. Okay. We got 2 callers behind you. Let me just try this trade to make sure it's legal. It does work. Hang on. Give me 2 seconds to just quickly check something. I just want to see a contract thing with Nick Richards. Can you explain why you would do this if you're the Raptors? Other than the age and positional need, like what do you specifically like about these players?
I like Nick Richards. I think he's a typical big man. I think he's right now he's playing pretty okay for Charlotte with the injury to their other big man, PJ Washington. He's not the best 3-point shooter, but he's okay. But he has a length. He's 6'7", 230. He can play power forward, small forward. And right now, we need because when you look at the size of the Toronto Raptors with their current lineup, we don't have that small forward, and we don't have that center that can come in for a Jakob, and long term it's not going to work. Having small guys play the center position, we see that we're getting killed.
Yeah. Okay, I agree to this deal 100%. Done.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for calling in.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like we need to do a poll on these. So hang tight for a second here. Sahij, are you in twice? You seem to be like there's I think there's 2 of you. There's also Infotech and Canis or Canis. Give me 1 second here. Oh shoot. Damn, I'm not gonna be able to do polls. I'm not gonna be able to do polls today, guys. Sorry. I needed to restart my computer before I did this. I can't access YouTube on my side to be able to do the polls. So personally, I think that was a really, really bad deal to the last caller. The first one, I think it was pretty fair. Like, I'm not a huge Rui Hachimura fan, and I'm like, I can get behind Max Christie. I do that deal because I really like the potential of pairing Onyeka Okongwu with what we have. To future callers, I would just say maybe try to read the room on what the value of Bruce Brown is, because I have a feeling people haven't properly assessed his value around the league. I'll tell you right now, I think Bruce Brown's a better player than PJ Washington, and I think Bruce Brown's a better player than Nick Richards, and you gave up 2 picks. Granted, they're not the greatest picks, but still, they're 2 picks. And he's the most valuable contract in this deal as well. I mean, you can say Nick Richards, 26-year-old, like decent-ish backup big. You get him for $5 million, but I mean, like you could sign guys like this in the G League. There's not shade on Nick Richards. He's all right, but he might be like the 50th best center, 45th best center in the NBA. So yeah. Okay, Sahij am I saying that correctly?
It's Saj, yeah.
Sajay?
Saj, like basically like SAJ.
Saj.
Yeah.
Cool. Saj, what's up?
So I guess quickly before I get into the trade, I just want to talk a little bit about like the Siakam OG trades, if we have time for that. If not,
Sure,
totally cool.
go ahead.
So I think like the issue, like I personally held a lot against Masai being like, why are we holding on to these guys? We're a middling team. But like I kind of took a step back and I was like, if you describe this team to yourself as you have an all-star point guard, a pretty lethal shooter at the time, Gary Trent, when he was averaging 18 points per game, the best 3-and-D small forward in the league, an all NBA power forward, and like a budding superstar. I think anyone, if you're describing it to yourself that way, which is perfectly reasonable, could look at that and say, we need to give this team a chance. So I think like just defending the side a little bit, even though personally I was frustrated with it too, like I think it's really easy to like probably get caught up in seeing it that way.
Sure.
So that was just one thing I wanted to mention about that.
Okay, can you state that argument one more time for a second there? And I just want to give you I would love if you can give me a pause between those descriptors. So if you'd be
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so go ahead.
So you have an all-star point guard.
Okay, incorrect. Go ahead.
And
manufactured all-star.
I agree. This is exactly the thing what you're doing now. Is what I ended up concluding, but I'll let you finish. You have Gary Trent at shooting guard. Well, I guess he's 6'1".
That's so funny. It's like you have all these descriptors, and then you have Gary Trent. You're like, we have an all-star point guard, greatest small forward, greatest power forward, and Gary Trent.
I would say Gary Trent. You'd say you have a really solid shooter.
Just call him a sniper. You call him you have a 23-year-old sniper.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay. What else? What else you got?
You have a budding superstar in Scotty Barnes, which I think is the description that stays true.
Okay, I mean you're preaching to the choir here. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. You have an All NBA power forward, multiple-time All-Star, multiple-time All NBA.
Okay. Also manufactured. Go on.
And then you have the premier 3-and-D guy, in some people's opinion, in the league. I think it was Mikal Bridges at one point, but now he's kind of stepped out of that role, which he's not the greatest at, I'd argue. But
okay. Yeah. Okay. I think the OG and Scotty descriptors hold true for me, but the Fred and Siakam ones don't.
Yeah, and that's fair. That's what I ended up getting to. You get like the word I started using was like fringy All NBA, fringy All Star, and then you kind of like look at that in the bigger picture, and you're like, okay, I see why this isn't going anywhere. But
yeah, did you catch the Siakam game today?
I caught the first like 2 quarters ish. I was watching on a stream on my phone, so like I was kind of in and out of it.
Okay. Did you happen to catch the part where they were talking about Jeremy Grant and Pascal Siakam going at each other, and they said like these guys are like 2 all-star caliber players?
Yeah, so I saw 2 possessions of them going at each other, so I'm assuming it was at that time. I wasn't paying too much attention to the broadcast.
Jeremy Grant went at him like literally the entire game. But my point is like that's how the league sees Siakam. Now, how we see Siakam is the marketing. The marketing says he's 2-time All-NBA, he's 2-time All-Star, and that's what his resume says. It's like today I was listening to the Brian Windhorse's Spotify. What the fuck is it? Is it True Hoop? No, it's not True Hoop. Is it True Hoop?
The Hoop Collective.
The Hoop Collective. There we go. So True Hoop is David Thorpe. Okay, so Hoop Collective. So I'm listening to the Hoop Collective podcast, and they're like, the Pacers have literally never traded for a player as accomplished as Siakam. Right? True. 100% true. That is fact. Okay? When you look at the resume is freaking impressive. But if you go down the list of NBA history and you look at guys who are 2-time All-NBA, 2-time All-Star, NBA champions, it's a pretty small list of players. Okay? I don't know exactly how many players are on that list, but I venture to believe it's probably less than 200. It's probably
and I think
less
an argument I would
in
make
NBA history.
Yeah.
Right?
And for the inconsistency, like I agree with you fully. I don't think Siakam's obviously a great player, but I don't think he was like all that. But like I think something I think he made All NBA and All Star all in 4 different seasons, if not 3. So I think that also speaks to these runs he goes on, where like he comes out of the gates blazing, or at the end of the year he comes out like averaging way more points, just playing way better. Like it's not a consistent effort and impact.
observation. That's a good observation. I think also like team success has played a really large part in his success.
That's fair. Yeah.
Right. So the inverse relationship with that is, is he driving team success, or does he score a lot of points and he's being credited for team success?
Yeah.
And that has always been my issue. And I remember a long time ago, I was having a conversation with a really nerdy person who works for an NBA head office, and he was like, in an ideal scenario, like I'm trying to like get his cadence of his voice. He's like, in an ideal scenario, I would love if like you could lend players to other teams just so we could see them in different scenarios so we can get a real gauge on what their value is. And I'm like, yo, me too. Like me too.
Yeah.
I wish we could swap Pascal and Julius Randle for like 5 weeks and just see what Julius Randle does here and what Pascal does in New York. And I think you'd have a completely different read on these players. The problem is usually you don't get to see players outside of the situation they're in until they've been traded. So I think last year, right, specifically last year and the year before, a lot of the accolades and stats that were being created, like they were manufactured. I don't know how to explain this to people like who just can't think this way, but I'm going to try because I think it's a relevant conversation to have. If like there's this theory that Nick Nurse had that if like there was a stat they read like 70% of this, if you win the possessions margin, like if you take the team that takes more shots wins the game like 70% of the time or 68% of the time or something like that. So they were like, okay, let's just win the possession battle every single game and we'll win a ton of games. Well, that didn't work out so well. Right. What ended up happening was you produced more shot attempts, right? You produced more shot attempts in the context of a single game, which means you could give inefficient offensive players more attempts to put up points, rebounds, and assists. If you have more chances, if you have more offensive possessions in a game, naturally you're going to have more chances for assists and points. Now, if let's say one team has 50 attempts and the other team has 80 attempts, it's never that drastic, but let's say 50 to 100, right? So let's say I am playing you and my team has 50 attempts to score, but somehow we're idiots and we turn the basketball over and get offensive rebounded like, I don't know, like 50 times. Let's say we killed on the offensive glass, we gave up 30 offensive glass, and we turn the ball over 20 times in a live ball scenario. You get 100 shots to my 50. And the game is like not a blowout, then you suck, right? You just suck at offense. And you're spamming the offensive glass and you're doing all these things, but you just suck at offense. And that's my point. So like when you spam the possession battle this way and you have such great defenders, then you will to some extent kind of edge the margins towards a win for your team. But at the same time, like you got to look at the efficiency of the overall offense. Like I flashed some like really interesting numbers and data sets earlier. I don't know if you caught that.
That's what I was about to bring up. Yeah, I was going to say like we're shooting some of the most efficient shots in the league, yet we're just not hitting them. So I think that also speaks to that kind of inefficiency of last year. We were taking way more shots, but I mean, people just aren't hitting the shots. So like it doesn't turn into wins, right?
But if we looked at these plots last year, we were actually taking horrible shots too.
Okay, yeah, that's
so that's the thing. Like you've downgraded massively from Fred VanVleet to Dennis Schroeder. It's a big gap. Like it's a big gap between these two players, and people don't want to accept that, but it's true. And the drop off from Pascal Siakam last year to Pascal Siakam this year is also a pretty big gap. So I guess like to not completely hijack the trade show, but like to just say this, I think that this team with more talented players is very sustainable. Like what you're doing offensively, like your offensive system and what kind of offense you're generating is very sustainable. Now you just need to get better finishers. So if Scotty Barnes generates an open three for Jalen McDaniels and he hits it at 22% clip, well, who's to say if you get Buddy Hield in that same spot that he's not going to hit it at 46% clip? Guess who gets more assists? Scotty Barnes. Guess who gets more points? Buddy Hield. Suddenly everything looks better, right? So I think the issue that I've always had with Fred and Pascal is I don't think that they're drivers of very efficient offense. And yet every smart person disagrees with me, or every smart person who thinks that they're smart in Toronto media disagrees with me. So we'll see. I'm very curious to see what Pascal Siakam looks like in Indiana. I think he'll be fine, but
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be the driver of their offense the way he was ours. Anyways, what trade would you like to propose?
I have two. One's a quick 2-team, and then if you have time for a 3-team, I'll maybe propose that.
Okay,
But
let's see where we get with the first one.
so it's 76ers and Raptors.
Okay.
So from the Raptors, it's Gary Trent to the 76ers. And then it would be, I forget if they have Markieff or Marcus Morris, his contract back to Toronto, because I think he's super redundant with Batum and Covington. I'm not sure which of the three they prefer, honestly. So I guess I could be argued into any one of those three. I think it just makes sense for them to move off one of those guys. Like it's literally almost the exact same player.
Wait,
And
wait, Marcus Morris and Robert Covington?
And Batum, not the exact same player, but they fill the same role, right? Of like a 3, and like Morris doesn't have that much of the diva in terms of the power forward position.
Okay, so which players are going back to the Raptors? Marcus Morris and who?
And I was gonna say KJ Martin, because I don't see them really doing anything with him, and I think maybe the Raptors could take a little bit of an upside swing on him if he turns into something just like a rotation piece or something.
Okay.
And then I think
Marcus Morris and KJ Martin for Gary Trent.
Mm-hmm. But I also think like the Raptors aren't getting enough back there. You're getting a fringy prospect plus an expiring contract. So
But you're also getting an expiring contract.
Yeah. So, but I think if they trade for Gary Trent, they'd re-sign him. And I think there's a benefit to Gary Trent's production being down this year, like the fact that he's not going to be on too big of a deal. Whereas like I think if he was the 18 point per game guy that he was before at that age, I think he'd probably garner some more money.
Okay.
So I think the 76ers should probably send back a first, and I think like one coming up pretty quick. I don't know if the Raptors want another one this year, but maybe next year.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So wait, a second round pick?
A first. I think a first, because it's going to be back of the draft. It's the 76ers, right?
Not a chance in hell. You're not getting a first round pick for Gary Trent Jr., man.
You don't think he's worth a first?
Nope.
Do you think he used to be worth a first? Last year, maybe the year before?
Yeah. I mean, you'd have to find a pretty incompetent general manager and pretty desperate one to service this. And you'd have to give up something different than what you're giving up. So basically, the way this would work is if a team, let's say you find a team that A, has a need for Gary Trent, and B, has a contract that is less desirable than Gary Trent's. Right now, you're taking back 2 expirings, and you think that the upgrade between Gary Trent from Marcus Morris and KJ Martin is enough for me to give up a first, and it's not. I can give you a second, but I don't even think I want to give you a second. I wouldn't give you anything for this.
You think that they wouldn't? Because I think the weakest position on their team is the 2 guard. I'm just
being straight up with you. Like, if you want to give me Bruce Brown, I'll give you a first. But I don't think I would give you, and it won't be a very good first. But if you are giving me Gary Trent Jr., I don't see how. No.
Okay. So, I mean, I guess we just scrapped this deal then, because I thought.
Move on to your next deal.
Okay. So the next deal was a 3-team between Memphis, Toronto, and New York.
Shit. Okay.
Let me just find my trade here.
Okay. Memphis,
so I think
Toronto, and New York. Okay. You say New York?
New York, yeah.
Is Quentin Grimes going to Toronto?
No, he's not. I think he's redundant here at this point.
Really?
With RJ and quickly a little.
Very different player. Okay, cool. He's like a 3 and D.
Well, I think it's positionally. I mean, if you're shipping out Gary Trent as a Gary Trent replacement, maybe that makes sense. It's kind of contingent on.
I think Quentin Grimes is worth more than Gary Trent. And he makes way less. It's very difficult. Hello?
Do you got me back now? I just got a phone call. I think it messed with
Okay,
me.
let's go.
Okay. Okay, so Chris Boucher and Quentin Grimes would be going to Memphis.
Chris going to Memphis, Grimes going to Memphis. Okay.
And then you have Bruce Brown going to New York, because that's what I'm seeing the most is the Knicks and the Lakers, which I don't know if that's just the whole media thing of loving the Knicks and the Lakers, but I mean,
Sure.
It makes sense for the positions they're in.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't pick the Lakers because I just don't like anything on their team.
Cool. What are the Raptors getting here?
The Raptors would be getting Fournier, Brandon Clark, Xavier Tillman, which I'm not sure about Tillman if they'd be wanting to move off.
Are you aware that Brandon Clark is injured?
So he can't be traded while he's injured, right?
I don't know if he can be injured traded while he's injured. I think he would have to still pass a medical, but like, I don't know. I mean, there's certainly. I'm not a CBA expert, but yes, guys have been traded while injured before. You would just have to forego the medical because he wouldn't pass it right now.
Because I know on 2K you can't trade guys when they're injured, but I don't know about
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
But in real life, I think in certain cases you can. Okay, so
Okay.
Brandon Clark and Evan Fournier. Okay.
And Xavier Tillman. I think the Knicks give up a protected 2026 first in this deal, so they're giving up basically Grimes. I guess Fournier is expiring.
Tillman's going to the Raptors?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I think that the Grizzlies here are getting back more value in terms of Boucher and Grimes versus Clark and Tillman. And I could be argued out of Tillman for just a filler. I don't really care about Tillman too much. It was just kind of the first guy I saw that made the deal work.
Great.
And
So
I think
we're gonna take Tillman out of it, and we're going to give you. Oh man, I hate to say it, but there isn't a lot that I want to give you. I guess I would have to give you John Conchar.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'm not.
No, I don't want to give you John Conchar, man. And I don't want to give you David Roddy, and I don't want to give you Santi Aldama, and I don't want to give you Vince Williams.
You could check it without Tillman, but I don't think the money works without him. I could be wrong on that.
Okay. All right. So is this the deal in the framework? Basically,
yeah, but I was thinking
Evan Fournier for Bruce Brown and Chris Boucher and Quentin Grimes, and the Knicks are giving up what now?
I think a 2026 first
to the Memphis Grizzlies.
I think it's Toronto, right? I think Bruce Brown's worth more than just Quentin Grimes and Evan Fournier.
Okay, cool. Let's do 2026 top 10 protected to the Raptors. Okay. Okay, let's try this. It's a success. Okay, so the Knicks get Bruce Brown. They give up Quentin Grimes, Evan Fournier, and a first-round pick.
Yeah.
So basically Quentin Grimes and a first-round pick.
Because I'm thinking as well, they signaled in that quickly deal that they're more than okay giving out first-round picks. So I think it makes sense that they'd still be willing to move off one.
And from the Raptors side, they get 2 years of Evan Fournier and Brandon Clark. Okay. All right. And from the Grizzlies side, they get Quentin Grimes and Chris Boucher. Okay.
And when I made this trade, when I proposed it, I also proposed a pick swap from Memphis to Toronto. Like Toronto would get the better of the 2025 first, but I'm thinking that's probably an overpay for the Grizzlies just looking at it now.
Yeah. I do think the Grizzlies need to give up something more because Quentin Grimes is probably like a little too valuable to just be getting like this. So I think that the pick that they would have to give up is probably a couple of seconds or maybe like a heavily protected. Yeah.
Because the thing is, Toronto would project to be a bit better, and like they might not even have to convey that pick because I think the Grizzlies will end up being better than Toronto in 2025. So
Right.
I think they might look at that optimistically and say we're not even giving up anything there.
Yeah. Let's see here. I think that I give up the 2026 least favorable.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. To Toronto. Let's see what this looks like. So the Raptors would get a pick swap 2026, top 10 protected 2026. They're giving up Chris Boucher and Bruce Brown. Okay. Brandon Clark, Evan Fournier. Okay. If I'm the Knicks, this makes sense. If I'm the Grizzlies, this also makes sense. Done. Deal. Yeah.
Do you think, okay, so that's good. It's a deal. Do you think this is the Raptors are getting back fair value? The thing I saw with Clark is, I mean, he came into the league as like not an amazing shooter, but a guy with a serviceable shot. And Memphis's development staff kind of destroyed it by trying to fix his form or whatever. And now he's like a complete non-shooter. So I think maybe in Toronto, I mean, seeing what they did with Scotty, that's obviously an exceptional case, but like I think
Yeah.
maybe trying to recover his jump shot.
I mean, I think like, whenever like the chat goes like, that's crazy or that's great, that's probably unrealistic, right?
Yeah.
Typically, I think like this will be very contingent on Brandon Clark's health. From the
Mhm.
Raptors side, the pick swap is like whatever,
Yeah.
very, very minimal swap down, whatever. And the top 10 pick protected for 2026 for New York, very good chance that's like the 18th, 20th, 22nd pick, right?
Yeah.
For the Knicks side, I mean, they get a second round pick in the same draft via the Clippers, who could be basically surrendering like the 34th pick at that time when all of their stars inevitably crash into a wall.
Yeah.
And they get Bruce Brown, who's a hell of a valuable contract, can also be converted, helps them more right now than Quentin Grimes does. From the Grizzlies side, obviously, they get the prospect in this deal and in Quentin Grimes, depending on how they feel about him. And, they replace a little bit of what they're losing in Brandon Clark and another Canadian and Chris Boucher. So on a cheaper contract, a shorter term contract, Brandon Clark, health issues, don't know when he's coming back, etc. I don't know. It will really, this entire deal depends on like how they feel about Brandon Clark's health and how they feel about Brandon Clark in general. But I can see that. I can see this working out. I just think, yeah. Anyways, thanks a lot for calling in, man. Appreciate it.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Infitech, what's up? Hello? Infitech, your mic is off.
Okay, 1 second. Yeah, just getting everything in here. Do you hear me now?
Yep.
Hold up. One moment here. Okay, so I had a couple of deals here. The main one really, one that was very interesting was actually Nikola Jovic and Kyle Lowry for Dennis, Chris, Thad, and maybe a second round pick. So it's just a 2-team one.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Let's go through this. So
Yeah, I
Bruce
think
Brown
Nikola
is already second in terms of trending players on the trade machine. That's hilarious. He's been here for like a day, and the guy just paid $10,000 to have his jersey number, and he's already number
I
one.
think he's a great fit, honestly.
He is. Okay, so what's the deal again?
Nikola Jovic and Kyle Lowry, because it's an expiry.
So it's Jovic. It's Jovic.
Jovic.
Yeah. Okay, Nikola Jovic
Both of them.
and Kyle Lowry. Okay. Yep.
For Dennis, Chris, and Thad. And maybe even the Detroit. I mean, which it is Detroit second round pick.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. No, not even close. Not happening. I
I
like
think it would be
Jovic.
like first or
I like
second.
Yeah, I mean, there's like Dennis Schroeder to Kyle Lowry. Yeah, he makes less, but he's a worse player. I know that people probably won't believe that right now, but he is a worse player. Okay, like I get it, averages, whatever, but Lowry impacts winning a little bit more than Schroeder does right now. In terms of getting off of Jovic for Thaddeus Young and Chris Boucher, hell no, man. No. So I'm gonna amend this deal, and you tell me if it's cool for you. Okay. So if I'm getting off of Nikola Jovic,
Okay, yeah.
who is a stretch
Uh-huh.
big, that I clearly value. I just started him against you guys, right? I'm gonna need, let's see here. I'm gonna need at the very least Otto Porter back. That's for sure gonna happen. And let's see here. And I'm gonna need that Indiana pick.
Just the one, right?
Yeah. Let's see here. I mean, he's a franchise icon. So, I mean, okay, let's see what I have here. I will give you the Okay, I'll give you a 2026 second round pick in exchange. I also want your Detroit pick to the Heat. Okay. Let's see here. Lowry Jovic for I mean, man, I do value Jovic, but I also think Otto Porter and Chris Boucher help me win right now to kind of
That's solid.
maximize the last bit of my core here. Yeah, I can live
And
with
we
this
need
deal.
some power forwards too. I think that's a good deal.
Yeah, I could live with this.
Okay.
Let's try it out.
It should go through.
Success.
How about
Okay. Yeah.
Bruce for Jabari Smith Jr. and Oladipo from Rockets?
Not a chance in hell. Not even
You don't
close.
think so for Jabari Smith Jr.?
No. No, Jabari Smith Jr. is worth a hell of a lot more than Bruce Brown, my guy. Okay, let's work out that deal and see what it would look like. I literally, I don't think if I'm the Rockets, I don't do that for like you adding 2 first round picks. I wouldn't do that.
Even 2. Wow. Okay. So
I mean, dude, I just invested a top
other
3 pick
ones.
in this guy, and he's actually turning out pretty good for me. Why would I do this? Yeah, I'm not
yeah,
even.
all
I'm
these
not even.
deals are centers.
Huh?
All of the deals I have right now are for centers because that's probably what we need most.
For centers, Jabari Smith's not a center. He's like a small forward, power forward.
Well, power forward. He could play better center. I mean, he has the height for it for sure.
He has the height, but I mean, so does Jonte Porter. It doesn't mean he can play center.
Yes.
The only real centers, I'm gonna give you Boban. You want Boban to pair with your coach? They're from the same country. 7'4", bro.
Nikola would be even.
Yeah. We can give you Jock Londale. He's a center. He's pretty decent.
Okay, if we're doing just centers, could we do Wendell Carter Jr. instead from Magic for that same deal? Bruce Brown, Wendell Carter Jr.
What's that extension like? Okay. So explain to me, if I'm the Magic, why am I trading you the younger, better player?
Oh, we could add another pick on top. I mean, we have so many picks right now. We could definitely toss in, let's say, 1 first round pick.
Yeah, man. But like, I mean, I'm looking at my roster. I got Paolo, Markel, Jalen Suggs. I feel like I already have this player on my team. I don't need Bruce Brown. I have Jalen Suggs. It's kind of the same player, except Suggs is better.
I mean, the team that does need Bruce Brown is the Knicks, I would say, because they need a backup, at least for PG. Another option I had was Isaiah Hartenstein for Bruce Brown.
Not a chance in hell with the
think
way
so.
Isaiah's playing right now, bro. Have you been watching him?
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
That's why I mean, maybe with another pick. I mean, with this, I had a screenshot here. I did it with another first round pick with Bruce Brown for
Yeah. James saying, how are they the same player? I'm assuming you mean Bruce Brown and Jalen Suggs. They are actually remarkably similar. I'm surprised more people don't talk about this. Jalen Suggs is like a younger, very, very perfected version of Bruce Brown. He is a smart off-ball cutter. He is a very energetic defender. He rebounds the hell out of the basketball. He protects the rim as a guard. He's 6'4". They're literally the same height too. They kind of have like around the same wingspan. Like they're really similar players, dude. There's like 3 guys like this in the NBA that I can think of: Bruce Brown, Jalen Suggs, and Gary Payton the second or third. Second. James. Bruce isn't a point guard. Okay, James. How much Bruce Brown have you watched in your life? I'm very curious at this point. Like, if you're gonna tell me what position the guy plays, and I watched like 150 games of him, like, where are you coming at this from, bro? Like, I'm curious. Like, I understand he looks like why are you so pressed, my guy? Because you're talking like you think you know what you're talking about, my guy. Like, why are you like, why are you coming in here telling me Bruce Brown's not a point guard? I know he's not a point guard, but Jalen Suggs not a point guard either. They're utility players. In effect, Suggs plays like somewhere between shooting guard and power forward. You know what I mean? Like he's all over the place. So Bruce is the same way. He's like an undersized power forward. But if you watch him with the Denver Nuggets, I mean, you do that every night. Man, you know what? Life's short, bro. Peace out.
I had another question too. What do you think it would take to ever get Derek Lively if it was possible?
I mean, a lot. They seem to really value him and they really need him. So, I mean, I'm surprised that like, okay, so here's the thing. A couple of things that I like would want to say to like the people who are going to be calling in like after you, right? Like Canis and Danish and JB, I guess. Jakob Pertl could be valuable to somebody. I realize he's not super valuable like in our eyes because he's a little bit overpaid. But I look at a team like, I don't know, the OKC Thunder, and I'm like, could they be coerced into giving up a pick to get Jakob Pertl? Could we recoup some value back? Would we want to do it? I don't know. I guess like from a Masai standpoint, like is this going to be another one of those like I love him, he's like my son, I don't want to trade him kind of shit, you know, because I drafted him, and you know, is it one of those sentimental things? Because I swear to God, like you know, when I hear him talking about RJ and I hear him talking about Jakob eating cereal, I'm just like, these guys going to retire Raptors. So maybe he won't trade him. Maybe he won't trade him. But like there are teams that need a center. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Definitely.
Anyways, in terms of the trade, like man, what's give me a trade that like you want to do. Like we'll make one final attempt to make a trade.
Okay, how about the either Wendell Carter Jr.
Okay. So I am okay. See, like
Well, wait.
I feel like I need him. Like if I'm the
you were to
Magic, I
choose
need
any
this
center-
guy.
If we were to choose any center in the NBA,
Mhm.
who would you choose for the Raptors?
Wembanyama.
That's reasonable. Reasonable.
Reasonable. Okay. I mean, let's look at some bad teams here. Reasonable centers on bad teams.
Yeah, like a
Probably
realistic option.
Xavier Tillman, someone like that. Santi Aldama, like Xavier Tillman. These guys. I mean, Santi's like a power forward, but like these two guys, they kind of just fit the mold of the type of player you kind of want to put here. Obviously, like if you can expand it out further, you could look at the Nets. I really like
Claxton?
I like Daron Sharp actually. I do like Nick Claxton. He is an expiring contract.
He's unrestricted, right? Mhm.
And he's unrestricted, so he can go. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, people are mentioning Naz Reid. Naz Reid's awesome. Naz Reid's really good. So I don't know, but yeah, like those are the players I would be looking at. I mean, I could look at the
So you
Jazz.
don't think it would be possible to even get like Derek Lively or anything?
Yeah, I mean, like Derek Lively, Wendell Carter, these teams are in the playoffs. These guys are
Yeah,
starting for them. You know what I mean?
they're needed.
Yeah, like someone said Gafford. Like this guy's going crazy for Gafford. I wonder if he's a Wizards fan. He's just like, take this guy off my team. No. Daniel Gafford's awesome. I like him. But yeah, I don't think they're trading him, dude. Like who's gonna start at center for them? Marvin Bagley? Yeah, that's tough, man. Not a lot of good centers in the NBA that are currently available. You might actually be best off just signing Bismack Biyombo and calling it a day, man.
Yeah, that would not be a bad
Yeah.
idea. Is that what
Yeah.
you think is the most needed position for the Raptors right now?
I think, yeah. I mean, it depends because, like, if Jakob is playing 32 minutes a night, then I don't think we're talking about this, right? Like, you'd have
Yeah.
Jonte Porter and Chris Boucher playing backup bigs, and it probably won't be a big issue because most backup bigs aren't that great, or at least like you can hold up with them. And you can definitely get away with 10 minutes of Jonte Porter on Andre Drummond. You just can't get away with 43 minutes without it. You know what I mean? So yeah, you
Mm.
probably need like a third string center somewhere down the line. Like maybe when you trade that or someone like that, you make sure like you have a big
How
body.
about last one, Walker Kessler? Do you like him at all?
I like him, but the Jazz are not trading him.
They wouldn't at all. Eh?
Nope. Yo, bro, he got Rookie of the Year votes last year. He's young. He's good. He's one of the best rim protectors in the NBA. Yeah. Anyways, man.
Yeah, you raised a good point, though. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
These guys
Yeah,
are all.
I appreciate that you have great taste. You have great taste in players. Wendell Carter, Walker Kessler. You got great taste in players. Unfortunately, those players are very valued by their teams. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. Take care. See you, man.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Okay. Is it Canis or Canis?
Yo, it's Candace, bro.
Canis, what's up?
Shit, chilling, bro. I just cooked this up. I was thinking, like, for OKC, it would be Cason Wallace,
Oh,
Bertans for
okay.
Bruce.
No, it's not even
No?
close. You can give me 2 first-round picks, and I still say no to that. Kason Wallace is very valuable to me. He's incredible. Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Well, that was it, bro. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, man. See ya. If every call was that quick, holy crap. Okay, Danish, you're back. You have another trade.
Hello.
What's
Hello.
Hello.
How are you, brother?
I'm
Can
good.
you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So the guy was talking about Derek Lively trade, and I have a Derek Lively trade for you.
Okay.
So Derek Lively to Oliver Maxence Prosper.
Okay. 1 second. Let me just get this
Sure.
up. Okay. Derek Lively. Max Prosper. You better be giving me a hell of a haul because you're taking 2 of my very, very good young players, and I need them. Well, I need one of them for sure. What are you offering me?
So Richard Holmes and Maxi Kleber too in the deal.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Rashawn Holmes and Maxi Kleber. Mm-hmm.
So we give away Jakob Porto.
Okay, that's interesting. Mm-hmm.
Chris Boucher,
Okay.
Otto Porter,
Okay.
2024 OKC first round pick.
2024 OKC first round pick. Uh-huh.
And 2024 Detroit second round pick.
Okay. So I'm giving you Rashawn Holmes, Maxi Kleber, Max Prosper, and Derek Lively, and you're giving me Otto Porter, Chris Boucher, Jakob Poeltl, and 2 terrible picks. No, not even close.
I can add. Wait, let me see. I can add a couple more picks.
I mean, come on, man. Be serious. Derek Lively. Like a very bouncy productive, serviceable, athletic 19-year-old center who protects the rim. I mean, like, if I, ugh, no way. I mean, you'd have to
No
give
way.
you would have to give me like Emmanuel quickly in this deal for me to even look at this. Like, this is not even close. Like, I understand. I thought where you were going with this was that you were going to give me like Jakob Pertl and Emmanuel quickly or something like that. Like, I thought you were going to go there, but you're giving me 3 role players, really. And I mean, it doesn't really matter what I think Derek Lively is going to be. I think most people probably would assume that he's going to be one of the 10 best centers in the NBA at some point, and that he's a very, very good, productive young big. Yeah, I can't do this. Like, yeah, and the pick equity, it helps me. Like I can get my head around a deal centered on Jakob Pertl and Derek Lively because at least you're giving me a center to compete with now. But the value gap between these two players is so large. Plus, I'm losing Maxi Kleber, like, and I'm losing a young prospect. Okay, let me try to work with you on this. I'll take out Omax Prosper because I don't want to give you 2 young players. It seems like you really, really want Derek Lively. So let's take out everything
Okay.
but Derek Lively. That's your main target,
Alright.
right? That's what you want.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So let's take out all this other stuff. So I need a center back, and I'm going to take Jakob Pertl. Okay. I think
Sure.
that this is pretty good in terms of on-court value. This is like balancing out. Now, let me give you the worst contract I can, which is going to be probably Rashawn Holmes. Let me see. Is that the worst contract I have?
I think that is the worst contract they have.
Yeah, that's the worst contract I have. And let me give you another bad contract if I have another bad contract. Do I have another bad contract? Okay. Let me give you. This might be controversial. Let me give you Tim Hardaway Jr. Do I want to give you Tim Hardaway Jr.? Yeah, that makes the salaries make sense. Okay, let's try to figure this out here. Okay, so you get the young player, I get the center back, and now there's so there's about 18 million. Okay, so let's get a productive. See, how do I feel about Gary Trent? Okay. And Grady Dick. And okay. This is starting to make a little bit more sense.
Taking Gary too. Come on, man. Gary's my guy.
Yeah, well, you're getting Tim Hardaway Jr., dude. Let's see here. And how about Dennis Schroeder? And you guys get Seth Curry. Am I close to making salaries match, or have I gone crazy here? I've gone totally crazy. Okay. Let me remove Tim Hardaway. And yeah, I think that makes sense. And I just need to take one more. You just need to take one more player back, and I can give you Jaden Hardy, which is a young player who's very, very productive. Okay.
I'll take Jaden Hardy.
Okay, yeah, so this deal sort of makes some sense. Actually, no, not Jaden Hardy. Sorry about that. Derek Jones. Yeah. Okay. So let's see if this adds up. And you tell me if you want to do it. Failed. Why did it fail? Because hard cap. Shit. How much do I need to cut? Okay. Wait, what? Mavericks can only take back 25.1 million in salary based on the amount they are sending out. Cut 25.3 million. What did I do here? Oh my god, I've lost my mind. Wow. I just completely I went completely overboard and took like too many salaries. What am I doing? Okay, I need to cut that and cut that. I need to give you that. Am I close? Nope, not even close. I need to give you one more big salary. Or I need to take out the salary. Now we're close. Now we're dead even. We're close. We're close.
How many first round picks I'm giving?
3.
3 first round picks.
Okay, there we go. So Jakob Poeltl, Gary Trent, Grady Dick, first round pick. Wait, what? 4 first round picks. Actually, you can't even give up. You can't give up this many first round picks. So let's just take the 2026 off. The 2025 off. There we go. So you're gonna have to waive the protection on your current San Antonio pick, and I'm sure they have no problem with that. So boom, there's the deal. So 3 first round picks, a second round pick, Grady Dick, Gary Trent, Jakob Poeltl, 4 Tim Hardaway, Rashawn Holmes, and Derek Lively.
Nah, I think Toronto is giving too much for this.
What
For
do you want
just
to
Derek Lively.
what do you want to adjust?
So I would take off Grady Dick and 1 first round pick.
Then there's no deal. You can take
no-
off you can protect your 2026 pick like lottery protected, and I can take off the second.
Okay, that will work.
Okay.
So am I getting Grady back or no?
No. So we give you back your second, and we protect your 2026 pick that you were giving up. So your 2026, your 2026, which is here. We protected, lottery protected. There. So yeah, there's your updated trade. Yeah, so your 2026 becomes lottery protected. You give up 2 weak first round picks in this draft. You give up Grady Dick, Gary Trent, Jakob Poeltl. You get Tim Hardaway, Rashawn Holmes, and Derek Lively. I could see myself doing this. Yeah, I would do this if I'm the Mavs. Deal?
I'll do this if we get our 2025 second round pick back.
You already did. There's no second round pick outgoing. You want me to give you a pick?
2025 Toronto second round pick. I think they have our second round pick, 2025.
Okay, fine. Deal. Yeah, I can do that. Okay, yeah.
I'll make that deal, yeah.
Yeah, Raptors Nation is losing his mind here. What do you hate about this, Raptors Nation? Tell me. What do you not like about this? RH77, my eyes. La La Land. MJ, rather get Lori with this. Dude, you think Lauri Markkanen is coming to you for a package centered around Jakob Poeltl? I mean, like
Lauri Markkanen is too valuable right now.
VSPN Sports and Fantasy. Lively ceiling is not high at all, LOL. I mean, you think so? Sure. Okay. All right. So I'm assuming like people think that good night. Like how I think this is a really good comment here. He's 19. Like That's true. He's a 19-year-old starting center in the NBA. Like, what is wrong with you?
And he's really good defensively too.
He's a really good player. I mean, these people do not understand basketball, bro. Anyways, I think you got a really good deal here. Obviously, I think from my side, like, I'm going for picks. I also, like, you know, if I'm the Mavericks, the way I sell this is I think Jakob Poeltl is about as good, if not a little bit better than Derek Lively right now. He gives me a lot of the same stuff. So Luka is not mad at me for fucking up his window, right? And at the same time,
Yeah.
I do get Grady Dick, you can kind of and Gary Trent Jr. So I'm getting a little bit younger with this deal while giving up like the youngest player in this deal. And I'm just gonna hope that, you know, working with Luka is gonna make Grady just a nightmare shooter, right? So plus to get 3 first-round picks, yeah, I'm good with this, man. Okay, thanks a lot for calling in, Danish.
All right, brother. Thank you.
See ya. Bye. We got less for OG than this. Correct. Correct, you did. Because OG wanted to go there. And also, you got Emmanuel Quickly. What are you talking about? Emmanuel Quickly is a very, very good player. What are you talking about, bro? I think people just don't understand like what like actual value of players is. Like, you think because the guy doesn't fucking play for your team that he's just a bum. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's not. He's a 19-year-old starting center on a very good team in the NBA. If you look at the analytics, they would tell you that their defense is like oodles better with him on the court. You know how rare it is for a 19-year-old to impact winning this significantly for a winning team? Ugh. Robert, this is essentially 5 first-round picks for Lively. Jakob and Grady are essentially 2 firsts. In what fucking world is Jakob Poeltl a first-round pick, bro? He is a 28-year-old center who makes $19 million a year who can't shoot. What the fuck are we talking about here? Like, what are you talking about, bro? How is he a first-round pick? You think he's a first-round pick because you gave up a first-round pick for him? That's your mistake. That's not my fucking mistake. And he was on a $9 million expiring contract then. He's now on a bloated 4-year, $19 million contract. You must be kidding. Yikes. Okay, JB, what's up?
Hey,
Hello.
Rob.
Hey, how's it
I
going?
wasn't sure when I'd be. Good. Yeah, it's an interesting game.
Yeah, it's
I
a game
caught
where
the third and
everybody
fourth quarter.
loses. Oh, you're talking about the Pacers.
Oh, you're talking about the trading. I meant the Pacers. Yeah, I actually caught. I was rooting for Siakam. I appreciate a lot that what he's done. I know it was time for him to move on and for us to move on. You know, it's like one of those mutually benefit. It's not you, it's not me. It's just the situation. And I think
Yes.
both sides handled it as best as they could, given the circumstance. Could it have been better? Sure, but it could have been
Yeah.
a lot worse. So I'm kind of happy that the dust has settled a bit. Siakam looked great. I mean, considering it's his first game, I think he played pretty much
Really?
as good as Bruce Brown. Maybe Bruce Brown had a better impact, even though we lost and
bro,
Pacers lost.
if you have to compare,
Yeah.
like if you have to compare.
True. That's more of a
How far are we
a
reaching?
take on
How far
Siakam
are
then.
we?
But I think he was plus 17.
How far?
Like his plus minus was pretty good. He didn't make a lot of mistakes. He played within himself. Didn't try to take over the offense too much.
I mean,
So
that's not what he's there to do. He's not there to take
I'm
over the
grasping for
offense.
straws. I'm grasping for straws.
Yeah. How'd you like his
Yeah.
defense tonight? Going up against Jeremy Grant.
Man, I mean, there's a reason why I'm not that heartbroken he's not on Raptors, because like there's a 10% part of me that was thinking, will he revert back to 2019, 2020 Siakam defense, kind of like Andrew Wiggins defense in the title run? And I was thinking if he does that, then I'm gonna be a little bit more salty about not looking at trying to keep him in Toronto. But if his defense stays, the way it has been for the last 2 seasons, then honestly, it's not as big a loss as his impact on Raptors winning is not that hard to replace. I would say that a combination of Manuel Quickly and RJ Barrett give them a full season, or at least an off season to get reps and build up the chemistry. I think it's already 110% of what Siakam's impact is on Raptors winning. So I'm not that worried about it. And defensively wise, he's been a sieve. Sieve? Am I saying that word right?
Steve.
Sieve, yeah. He's just been, it's not even ability, it's lack of effort. He's not boxing out. He's letting blow-bys. He's losing players on cuts. He's not rebounding. Like, how many rebounds did he get today? Let me check. 5, 4? I mean, better than average probably for him.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see.
mean,
6. Actually, 6 is pretty
given
okay.
their high octane nature of their offense, I think 6.
True.
I mean, like there's also like the factor of like when you have a shot blocking big, you always have a
Yeah.
rebounding big. There's always that trade-off because the shot blocker,
That helps.
right?
Mhm.
Like he's doing the paint protection. There's a relationship between paint protection and rebounding, right? So very few guys can do both. Rudy Gobert can do both. He can be an excellent rebounder
That's true.
and an excellent shot blocker. Very few
Hey,
guys. can do both.
Koloko could have done both if he was healthy. Oh my gosh.
Heartbroken.
I'm actually there's gonna be fans that hate me for this. I'm actually more heartbroken that Koloko's no longer with the team than Siakam isn't on the team. Just because of his potential, his fit. Oh man.
Dude, I didn't cry for Pascal Siakam. I know a lot of people said they
You cried for
whatever.
Koloko?
No, I didn't cry for Koloko either. But like,
Okay,
if there was
okay.
one player that I would have cried for, it would have been Koloko. Yeah, for sure. Anyways, let's get to the trades.
Okay,
Do the
let's do
trade.
some trades. I've got a few, but we can do them lightning fast. I'm not gonna do my salesman's pitch. I just wanted your thoughts on it and
Sure.
from both sides. So let's start with one that's I think lukewarm, but there's still potential. It's with Rockets, and it's a Bruce Brown trade.
Okay, this is already very, very good.
Bad.
Okay.
Oh, it's already good. Okay,
It's
'Cause,
already good because I, as the Rockets, would like Bruce Brown. That immediately makes this trade way better. So yeah.
Yeah. Because I mean, why trade with a team that doesn't need Bruce Brown? It's just a waste of time.
Yeah.
So I saw a lot of these trades that didn't make sense. Okay, so you get Bruce Brown.
Mhm.
You're gonna send me Oladipo, Jock Landale, and I guess Holiday, just to make salaries match. But obviously, that's not fair value for Bruce Brown. So I'm gonna need a bunch of picks. I hope I haven't lost you yet.
A bunch of picks.
Let's do this. 1 first and 2 seconds. You got tons. You've got tons. You've got like at least like 11 second rounders in the next 6 years. I'm pretty sure. You're stacked. Look at that. How many? 2024, 2024 second rounders. You got 2025, 2025.
Okay, so I'll
2026 second rounders.
I'll give you 2020 second. 2025 second rounder. I'll give you 2024 second rounder, and that's it.
I need a first. It could be a 2028 first. It could be a 2027 first. With protections. Yeah.
Okay, then no seconds.
Wait. Whoa. What do you mean no seconds?
You have vastly overestimated. You have vastly overestimated the value of Bruce Brown. Vastly.
He's worth picks. Because what assets are you giving me? None of those 3 players are playing time.
You're gonna play Jock Landale. I promise you.
Yes. Until Jakob comes back. Until he's healthy.
Even when he comes
he's a
back,
stopgap.
he's going to be your backup center for sure. He's going to outplay every other.
Better than Porter? Come on, Jonte Porter at least can shoot a 3.
Oh,
I mean, Landale is he's not. You think he's gonna outplay Porter for minutes? No, Porter's solidified as at least 15 to 20 minutes a night.
Oh my god!
So he's gonna be like a break in case. He's a break in case of disaster, right? So Landale's not really an asset. Oladipo's washed, and Aaron Holiday's just there for filler. Like, you're not giving me anything for Bruce Brown. I need at least 1 first rounder, 2 seconds, or give me 5 second rounders. You can spread them all out. That's fine too.
Okay.
But Landale is a break in case of emergency. He's not going to be a very serviceable big. Yeah, we could use him until Porto comes back.
I can give you
Porter's way better.
I'll give you 4 second rounders. I won't give you 5. There's not a chance.
Make it 5.
I won't.
Okay, make it a first. Make it a first and 2 seconds. A first and 2 seconds.
Nope.
Let me choose the seconds.
Dude, I appreciate this, but I could just as easily just go for Quentin Grimes. Like, if I'm offering this much, like, I can just give Aaron Holiday and a bunch of seconds, and I'd get a younger player in Quentin Grimes. You know what I mean?
Quentin Grimes is not as versatile. is not as versatile. Bruce Brown, he can actually guard 1 to 5. He's got all the intangibles from experience being on a championship team. He's a far better. He's like the elevated
Do I
version of
look-
what
do I-
Quentin,
do I-
Quentin
do I
Grimes
look-
could be.
I'm sorry. Do I look like I'm winning a championship this year?
No,
No.
no. But
Okay.
but
so what am I doing?
Quentin
this trade
Grimes is
for?
more of a head case than Bruce Brown in terms of like chemistry and okay.
Irrelevant.
Next
to
one.
me.
Next one. I mean,
Okay.
if
Okay.
I can't get a first in 2 seconds, we'll just move on. This
Okay,
is one
great.
of those lukewarm ones where
Cool.
yeah,
Okay, let's
Landale
go.
would be fine, but anyway. Clippers also need Bruce Brown,
Hold on one second.
right?
Uh,
Okay.
1 second. Barnes, Bruce, 1 through 5. Barnes of Scotty.
I'm sorry.
Yes, he can play 1 through 5. I feel like
Oh yeah, he can. It not ideal, but he has the he's one of the most versatile players in the NBA. He's a
facts.
mini Scotty Barnes. He's a miniature Scotty Barnes in terms of ability and size.
Yeah,
Like,
he's like
they're
he's like,
almost
yeah, like he's like a like he's
a
not
great
Scotty Barnes
move
now,
for
but like he's
size,
like Scotty
for skill.
Barnes, like rookie Scotty
We-
Barnes, miniature
Yeah,
rookie
yeah.
Scotty Barnes. Yeah. So
He's a Scotty
with-
Barnes light.
yeah,
miniature and light.
without the awesome passing. Like he's a capable passer, he's a good rebounder, good cutter.
Yeah.
Like he's just a smart player. Okay, every team
Yeah.
could use a Bruce Brown, but like don't overestimate it. Anyways, go on. What's
Yeah,
your
yeah,
next-
yeah,
next trade?
exactly. Sorry, we were both on the same side replying to Barnes.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Scotty.
yeah.
Next one is what was I saying? Clippers. Let's do Clippers next. Clippers is showing interest. And they're going for the championship. They're 100% in it. This is,
Okay.
I mean,
fair.
knock on wood. How many more seasons of healthy Kawhi? Like
Fair
he signed
enough.
a 3-year
Yeah,
extension.
you don't have to sell me on this. Go ahead.
Okay.
What's
Okay.
the deal?
So I'm just saying that Bruce Brown is more valuable to Clippers than Houston for sure. Way
Sure.
more. So you're going to be sending me, PJ Tucker, Plumlee, Bones, and I think salary I'm still under.
PJ
Who else?
Tucker,
BBJ,
Bones, Highlands,
Yeah. Plumlee,
Plumlee.
because I do need a big man. Again, he's serviceable.
Oh, he's totally serviceable. He's like 60.
He's serviceable,
He's an underpaid.
but not as good as Porter. I still prefer Jonte Porter. I really wish he could be our starting center eventually. Like he's
Sure.
or backup to Koloko.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, again, all these trades kind of need a center because that's what we desperately need. If we had a center, I think we would have won the Bulls. Yeah, that was definitely winnable.
Yep.
Let's see New York tomorrow. But anyway, PJ Tucker, Plumlee, Highland, and BBJ, Boston Jr.
Okay. Yeah, you can't
Is
really
that right?
do this. I mean, number one,
No?
you really can't do this trade because number
No,
one,
because
you're
of
like, you're gonna
the-
have to cut
We
everyone.
need to. Well. Okay. Wait. We are going to be probably waiving or possibly converting, but PJ Tucker won't be with the Raptors. We're going to be looking for a third team or send him off almost
You
immediately.
can't even
something.
convert the trade.
Cannot even do it.
You can't even
No?
convert. You can't even complete this deal without waiving the people required to make the deal. So you can't trade for PJ Tucker and then
Ah.
waive him after. You have to like literally like it won't work. So yeah,
I see.
yeah.
So
Let's
before
move
we
on.
send the papers in, we would need to actually find another team that takes PJ Tucker for like picks and waivable. Oh, you're saying we still need to waive the
Yeah,
spaces.
you just
We need slots.
exactly. Let's move on.
Okay. That's too bad.
Yeah.
Okay, then the Suns trade wouldn't work either because it's also a bunch of multiples. So
Cool. We have
how about Knicks?
Knicks? Okay. Last one. We have one more caller after you. Last one. Okay.
Oh,
cool.
okay. Wait. In that
Knicks.
case, let me do something I prefer. 76ers then. Oh, no. Okay. 76ers, I want to get Melton so badly, but I'm not sure if it would work. Otherwise, let's go Thunder for potential. Which would you prefer to look at? Sixers or Thunder?
Let's look at Thunder.
Let's look at Thunder. Okay, because you don't think we're going to get Melton? Is that why? There's no chance?
Mm-mm. I mean, you'd have to
No?
give up something
Okay.
very significant. And
All right. So Bruce won't be enough value
for
for one-to-one?
Melton.
with filler? No? Okay. I wasn't sure. I'm not sure how badly 76ers value Melton
Melton
over
is a
Bruce.
better.
That's why.
Melton's a better player. Like he's
Really? Okay.
significantly.
Because I think Bruce is more versatile. All right. Fair enough. I don't follow Sixers that much. So let's go OKC.
Mhm.
OKC, he's flashed some potential, especially in his rookie and sophomore year. It's mostly I'm not in love with this trade, but I mean, for Bruce Brown, I guess it's better than nothing. So it'd be Davis Bertans, Poku. So Alexei Poku. Where's Poku from? He's not Serbian, is he?
He is.
That'd be cool if he was. Oh, he is. Okay. So I don't know. Maybe Darko can unlock another step in his game because he's stagnated. He's definitely analytics. He's not done well this year. He's got no playing time at all to showcase. But he is a stretch big. If he can add 30 pounds to his frame, get some strength, then he could be very serviceable.
Okay.
Anyways,
so and yep.
Yeah, Alexei Poku and 2026 first rounder.
2026 first rounder. Okay.
And a future second in 28, 29. Just one of those years is fine.
No. So what I will do for you is I will give you 2027 first rounder.
2026.
No.
You prefer.
I don't care.
No.
And
you don't care.
Yeah,
no, but like Davis Bertans is a negative asset. It's a negative contract.
He's not a negative
and Poku
asset.
hasn't shown anything.
Then
Bertans is not a negative.
Dude, why do you want them if they've not?
Because we want the pick.
Okay.
I mean, it's mostly for the pick.
You're getting a pick.
Okay, fine.
And I'll give you a 2024 second. That's it. That's the deal. I'll give you a 2027 first, a 2024 second. You get the young asset in Alexei Pokushevsky, who's 22 years old, and you get the
he's on the last year
basically.
Of his
okay, that's fine. You can sign him. He has bird rights, and so you get a stretch big, and you can get Davis Bertans. Yeah, and you get Davis Bertans, who basically becomes a stretch big for you for now, to as a point, a piece of like a proof of concept. Maybe a good
because he's a stretch, right?
Right, and also like you also have an expiring this. You have an expiring this off season.
Okay. There's a couple people in the chat that don't believe the Melton over Bruce Brown trade. What's Melton's first name?
D'Anthony.
D'Anthony. Okay. I'm just doing a quick comparison in Crafted just to see their analytics, their advanced analytics. But I also wasn't sure if Melton was that much better than Bruce Brown. But I mean, he's a little younger. But
he is better.
Is it true shooting? Bruce Brown is 46th percentile versus 28th.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. He is better. He is better, especially defensively. Yeah, he's a lot better defensively. 82nd percentile crafted DPM. Okay. All right. Melton's younger.
He is the 86th percentile. Melton. He's 86th. 86th.
Crafted DPM. The Anthony Melton, right? We're talking about the same player, no?
Let me just screenshot it for you.
Okay. I mean, I'm on the same page. I'm doing the Crafted NBA players comparison. Bruce Brown versus the Anthony Melton. And Crafted DPM has him at 82nd percentile with a value of 1. But maybe mine's not updating. But it's okay. I mean, it's tomatoes. He is significantly better. He is a step better.
To just give the audience a bit of an education on how good D'Anthony Melton is. This is how good D'Anthony Melton is. To put this into perspective,
I can't see because of Barnes of Scotty's comment.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hiding crafted DPM. That's okay. So if you do comparison,
there you go.
Okay, there it says 86.
Yeah. So it is like the only thing he's not doing well right now this year is defensive rebounding and true shooting percentage. That's it. Shot quality is excellent. 3-point attempt rate is awesome. Creation and load is very, very serviceable for an off guard who plays a lot off of. And also, I just want to say, like, I mean, we flashed the analytics earlier. The Sixers offense sucks. Okay. Like some guys are doing really well in it, but like in terms of like generating great shots, it does not. So yeah. So who can we?
If you do the comparison though of two players, it does change it from 86 to 82. I just double checked. So on the single stat of the single player, it's 86 DPM crafted, but then in a comparison, it just makes it 82. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's weird
that it's not consistent.
Yeah, so here we go.
So that trade, I'd probably
Wellington. Do. How do you feel now, Chad?
Was he the one that didn't say Melton is better? Yeah, Melton is significantly better. And he's also younger.
Yeah, and I mean, like, come on, man. Like, it's just like sometimes I just want people to watch. Like, I just want people to watch. That's what I want. I want people to watch these games. I would love for like this community. You know what I hate? Like, I hate when a Bulls caller calls in and was like, "Yo, I'll give you Patrick
Levine
Williams.
is amazing.
No. I'll give you Patrick Williams for Scotty Barnes and a pick. And I'm just like, fuck you. Like, you don't know what you're fucking talking about. It's not even close. And it's like, if some channel in YouTube sphere on the Chicago Bulls side could give Bulls fans a perspective on how good Scotty Barnes is, we don't have to have moronic discussions about this. You know what I mean? So that's what I like.
Yeah.
I like. Okay, so I'm not some trade fanatic. Obviously, I like 2K.
Yeah.
What I like about trades is it gives our audience an opportunity to learn about players that are not on the Raptors. I love this element of it because even free agency, even draft, everything. Because let's say like we continue this community for 5 years. Let's say Let's say this community existed 3 years ago. I would not even have to explain to people who Kyra Lewis is today. Because people have no fucking idea.
True.
They're just like filler. And I'm like, do you remember Kyra Lewis? Do you remember him in college? Do you remember the player that he was? Do you remember what his strengths and weaknesses were? Do you remember Jordan Noir in college?
He played for Alabama, right?
Yes. And I mean, like, this guy's like possibly one of the fastest players I've ever seen in my life. Granted, he's had injury.
He's quick.
Yeah,
he's quick.
something like
De'Aaron Fox quick, almost.
Damn, he is fast. And like that's what I'm saying. Like I hope that, you know, like for instance, like I hope this community has like a greater appreciation for who Dyson Daniels is because of everything we went through last year, or Trey Murphy, or even Jordan Hawkins. You know what I mean? Like I love that our community, like even the Raptors community at large, could be like the most educated community in all of like NBA sphere. That's my goal. Okay, so yeah.
What do you think about the trade?
This trade, I like it.
I mean, I don't love it for Raptors, but I think it's okay. Like I wouldn't lose sleep over it, but I hope there's a better one than this. But if this is the best that we can do for Bruce Brown, I don't hate it. I'm lukewarm. If it was a 2026 pick, I would like it a lot more. But because 2027 draft, it's too far out. I don't really know much about it. I know 26 is hot and loaded. I want as much equity there. And,
so the only reason
that
I could think about not doing this is because Bruce Brown kind of doesn't really fit my needs. My needs really are a center.
Okay.
So what I would like to do is I would like to expand this to a 3-team trade. And I don't want to do it with you because then I have to be against myself. But basically what I would do as the OKC Thunder
Raptors
is
as the OKC.
I would then move Bruce Brown to a 3rd team for a center that I could use, like a really good center that makes around this much money. And I would send Bruce Brown to that 3rd team. And no, it would not be.
Okay, on that note,
Pirtle.
No, of course not. No. I was thinking the Raptors actually need a center. Why wouldn't we target that same team that needs Bruce Brown and has a good center? Who would it be?
Because
like I was thinking, ideally we get
value the picks. You're not getting Naz Reid. You're not getting Naz Reid.
I mean, not for Bruce Brown. Not for Bruce Brown. For another type of package. Or what kind of deal would it take to get Laurie? Like 5 firsts, a young promising.
It would take 5 first-round picks. I think it would take 5 firsts and and Bruce Brown, and maybe like a pick swap, or maybe it would take Grady, plus. Oh man, I don't know. Grady.
If Ainge says yes to it, should Raptors go for it? To pair Barnes with Laurie?
Yes.
Like that's a kind of like movement shooting in space. Like that would unlock Barnes completely. Because that's the missing piece.
Yeah.
We just need that stretch 5 to open everything up. And wow.
Yeah.
It could be the OKC East. But it was a lot of fun chatting with you about that.
Likewise, Jay. JB, thanks a lot for calling in. Appreciate it, man.
My pleasure.
Bye.
Yeah, take care.
Frank, thank you so much for waiting. Appreciate it, man. How are you? Your mic is off.
Hey, how's it going? I wrote you way back in the beginning. I wasn't so much part of the trades, but I just wanted to say my take on Raptors. I think they're gonna make the playoffs this year, and just hearing Masai talk about what he's gonna do, he's definitely gonna improve this, and this is gonna be a winning team soon with Scotty Barnes and like getting a big stretch big and getting some needed pieces here.
You
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna need you to use headphones because I can hear myself booming off of your audio. So I'm just gonna mute you for a second there. Have you figured it out? Or maybe you can just mute yourself when you're not talking. Okay. Did you say playoffs? Oh, you're gonna have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I did.
I like the confidence. I appreciate it. Yeah. Thanks a lot for calling in. Is that all you had to say? You just wanted to let us know that we're gonna make the playoffs?
No, I just was wondering. I talked earlier about like workout routine, like how to help kids become like knowing how to cut away from the ball, being more. You talk about like Presses Achua who didn't know how to play, but like helping kids to become smart players in basketball.
Okay. You were the person with the 2 kids.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Can you tell me a bit about your kids? Are
Yes.
they what position do they play? What level are they at right now?
Yeah. Samuel's 14. He's in a small forward.
How tall is he?
He's how tall now? 5'8". I'm not sure. Like 9. I'm not sure. 5'9".
Okay. And how old did you say he was?
14.
Yeah, you need to get him playing point guard right away.
Okay.
Yeah. 5'9" is way too short to be a small forward. He's gonna have to develop some serious guard skills. I would honestly say this if he was 6'1", he should be developing guard skills.
Yeah.
And about your other child?
Yeah, he's 11 and he's coming a long way. They did play him on point guard and defending. He just needs to improve his handle. He does pretty good at passing, but just wanting to work on his handle and getting him more ball.
Yeah. So if your kids are wanting to be point guards and guards in general, obviously getting around the court is going to be very, very important. So I would do drills. Like I would do drills with like chairs and cones.
Yeah.
You can pull these up online or you can email me and I can probably send you a couple. There's
Yeah.
also like a really, really cool workout program by DeMar DeRozan and Damian Lillard, which talks about like more advanced stuff. But I have a feeling like that's more for like advanced hoopers or like college hoopers and young hoopers. Like I don't really think your kids need to be learning rip throughs and Euro steps right now. You need to master the fundamentals, and the fundamentals are pass, dribble, shoot. So I'll give you the 3 quick ones that I can think of off the top of my head. Number 1, get them to practice with a visor. Visor cutting off like this much so they can't look down when they're dribbling. It's a really bad habit a lot of kids develop. They look down a lot when they dribble, and it makes their court vision really shit. So get them into the habit of that, and then eventually they'll learn to just stop looking down when they're dribbling. Number 2, get their handle tighter by getting them to shift directions. So like set up a bunch of chairs and be like, okay, go up to that chair, behind the back, go up to the next chair, behind the back, then repeat. Plenty of online tutorials on how to do this. You can do cone drills, in and out, left, right. Try to get them to get their burst and speed a little bit better. Like try a little bit of jump rope. I think jump rope can help with that stuff, like footwork in general. Ironically, put them into soccer. It's really, really good for footwork. And yeah, with shooting mechanics, just make sure it's consistent. However they're shooting right now, try to make sure they're not like dry heaving the basketball. Try to make them like shoot with one hand. Like try to make them shoot with one hand, like get closer to the basket, then get further and further away from the basket. Is that your child right now? Hey, how are you? Hey.
He's actually a soccer player. They all played soccer first here in Spain, but now we changed to basketball.
That's awesome. Yeah. So you want to get the ball coming off the tip of your fingers. Trying to go like right here. You don't want it to be resting too much on your palm. You don't want to be using your thumb too much. You want to be like releasing even every single time, and get like really consistent with it. And yeah, develop the habit of practicing as you play. So intense, don't soft through practice. You go hard in practice. If you're doing pull-ups, you pull up hard. If you're doing a curl, you curl hard. You run, you sprint. You do it like you would in the game. You pretend the chair is an actual player right there. And when you do these things, it's actually much easier to replicate the muscle memory in games. That's the best I can do for you here. But sure, man, like I would love to do one of these lives with like Brian here, Scotty's trainer, and we can just talk it out. Like, what can kids do at this position, that position? There's a ton of stuff, but the most important thing is consistency, repetition, and intensity, focus.
Where's your email, or how do I get, like, where do I find that?
It's on the about section of this page. You can definitely email me, and if you have anything super, super specific, I'd be happy to email Brian. He loves kids. I love kids. We all love kids. Yeah. Thanks a lot for calling in, Frank. Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate everything. I've been with you since way back in this Needed Your Growth, and I'm all the best for this channel, and I'm hoping that you can continue to get Scotty Barnes to be the all-star that he is, like, recognized. So yeah.
He's doing it all. He's doing it all himself, man. All right, take care, Frank. See ya. Bye. Steele, what's up?
Hey, what's up, bro? Good to see you.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. I had a trade with the Miami Heat. I wanted to try out.
Dope. Okay. All right. Let's close this. Miami Heat. Thanks a lot for waiting.
No worries.
Through that. Okay. The Heat and the Raptors. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they'd be a team that would want Bruce Brown. So put Bruce
Sure.
Brown.
Yeah, absolutely. We want Bruce Brown. What do you want back?
To make the salaries work, I'd probably take Duncan Robinson. And then I'd want back as well Nikola Jovic as well.
Okay. I mean, damn, man, I value that shooting so much.
You do.
I do. And you're taking two shooters off my team. You're taking two very positive spacers. You can give me a negative spacer back. Because Bruce Brown is not being defended by anyone at the three. And I already have Jaime Jaquez, and I already have Bam Adebayo, and I already have Jimmy Butler. Like, Bruce Brown's a great luxury to have if you're if you're not taking like a core piece off my books. Like,
I mean, I feel like you have like decent shooting still. Like, you still have Tyler Hero, you still have Jaime Jaquez, which is a decent shooter. I mean, like, Caleb Martin can still space it. I feel like I'm not leaving you without like a lot of shooting. And Bruce Brown, you're getting, a really nice contract. If you're looking for a free agent this summer, you're getting like a hard-nosed defender, really smart decision maker. I feel like he fits Heat culture really well.
Oh, he absolutely fits Heat culture. Don't get me wrong. But like Jaime Jaquez is a below average 3-point shooter. He's 35%. And he's not a high volume 3-point shooter either.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So like, it's not like you're leaving me a sniper. You're taking two snipers. You're taking two guys who do bare nothing but take threes.
That's true.
Let me look at my roster for a second here. You have to forgive me. I'm Pat Riley. I'm kind of old at that point. I have to pull up the basketball reference page and figure out who my top 3-point attempt rate guys are. Okay, let's see here.
That's true. No, Pat Riley's a scary guy. I'd be scared right now.
Okay, my top 3-point attempt rate guys are Duncan Robinson, Kyle Lowry, Haywood Highsmith. Eesh. Okay, Nikola Jovic is right up there. And basically my bottom 3-point guys are Bam, Thomas, Jimmy, Orlando, Jaime, Caleb, Jamal, and Tyler. So basically I sorted it between high volume 3-point shooters and low volume 3-point shooters. So basically my high volume efficient 3-point shooters, let me just check the numbers on that, are the best 3-point shooters this year are Orlando Robinson, Nikola Jovic, 44%, Duncan Robinson, 41%. There's no chance in hell you're getting both those guys, man. Yeah, like, I mean, think about it. You have granted, it's a very small sample size for Nikola Jovic, but like 44% 3-point shooter, dude.
Oh yeah, I love Nikola Jovic. Yeah, like that's why. Yeah.
Does that Thaddeus Young trade just hurt a little bit different now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I mean,
and picks wouldn't sweeten the deal, eh?
No.
Nah,
I mean, if I'm losing Duncan Robinson, if your goal is to get Duncan Robinson on the team, right? Like, I would have to get back a shooter to some capacity and you'd be giving me picks.
Right.
Or like,
You wouldn't take Trent. I mean, I can't offer Trent with Bruce, right? Because it's Bruce, but
yeah, that's the problem.
the
Yeah,
thing.
you can't combine them.
Yeah.
But what was your objective with this trade? You just wanted Duncan Robinson, or you just wanted?
No, I
Nikola
really
Jovic?
want Jovic. I love Jovic. Yeah.
Okay, so if Jovic is your goal, let's see
Yeah,
if we can
Duncan
make.
was just salary filler, right, to make it work.
Oh, geez. Okay, well, I mean, if that's the case, why don't you do a deal centered around? Yeah, that's the problem, right? Because the minute I include the salary that I actually want to dump, which is Kyle Lowry's, you can't make this deal work
Yeah.
with that. What about some framework around Dennis Schroeder, Gary Trent, Grady Dick, and picks? Would you give me 1 and 2? Would you give me? Yeah, like let's see this. Would you do this deal?
Let's see it.
Would you do Kyle Lowry, Nikola Jovic for Gary Trent, Dennis Schroeder, Grady Dick, and 2 first-round picks?
You wouldn't do 1 first-round pick? I feel like.
I mean, I could sweeten it a little bit for you by giving you. Let's see here.
Yeah.
I can give you a second-round pick back.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I get.
Like, I don't necessarily think I'm getting considerable value. Like, I think you're getting a lot of value in the expiring of Kyle Lowry by getting you off of Dennis Schroeder's contract, because I think he's slightly overpaid. Even though I think he's overperforming, I don't think he's much of an asset.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to get you a first-round pick at this point, is what I'm saying. Like, he would get you an expiring and like maybe a few seconds. So, and Gary Trent's having the season from hell. So you would have to basically be selling yourself that Grady Dick plus 2 picks is basically worth Nikola Jovic, and then Kyle Lowry plus the second is worth Gary Trent. And I don't know. I mean, yeah, like these are not valuable picks. Do you know what I mean? Like they're both going to be like late picks. Like it's basically like, what are you giving me? Like a 25th pick and maybe like a 22nd pick. 22nd pick in a week draft. Like the pick that I'm really after is that 2026 Indiana pick, which might be a little bit better, but yeah. Yeah.
No, it's tempting. Like I think I might accept this. You know, losing Grady sucks. I love Grady, but I think I do like Nikola more than I like Grady.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
cool.
Yeah, no, I think I definitely could accept this. Do you think the Heat would actually accept this in real life?
I'm only accepting this because I think the Heat would accept this. I'm pretty much trying to act as the Heat would. Yeah. So provided that you will accept this, I'll say I don't know if the Raptors accept this. Now, I think that they would be unusually high on Nikola Jovic, but I also think they're much higher on Grady Dick than you are.
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, therein lies the conundrum. I also think that they probably value Dennis enough that they could probably see him being like valuable long term, maybe as like a necessary piece to handle some ball handling duties. Now, obviously, if it's a stopgap solution to mentor the youth, clearly Kyle Lowry provides much more in the mentorship department. I do think the Raptors would probably value these picks, though.
Yeah,
like these picks are like, I mean, not just because. So here's the thing. The picks have like a double utility. Number one, they have the one use, which is you can use them, right? Number two, they are an engagement tool. It's like being a really pretty girl at a party. Everyone approaches you, and then you can sell them your crypto scam. You know what I mean? So like it gets you in the door to have conversations. So suddenly, if I'm calling, let's say I'm calling OKC, forget OKC. I'm calling Washington or something like that. And I'm like, yo, I really like this Danny Avdija guy. They're at least having a conversation with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas without these picks, they may not have that conversation. Conversely, if I use these picks, then I can have draft prospects come into my building. I could have like the widest range. Like let's say the Pacers finish with the 17th pick and the OKC Thunder pick ends up being 26th. Well, now, and I have the 31st pick from Detroit, I could pretty much have like 60 kids work out for me because I have such a wide net. whereas like no one's going to snub me but the top 13 guys, basically. Even like the 13th, 15th guy, they might be like, I might fall to 17. Let me work out with these guys. These guys might move up with all these picks. They might move up. So I think that's the advantage of having multiple picks. So I don't think the Raptors would give up all of that for Nikola Jovic. So I think the Heat say yes, but I think the Raptors say no personally. But yeah,
I get it.
yeah. Thanks a lot for coming on, Steele. Appreciate it.
No worries. Yeah. So
See you, man. Lil John, what's up?
Hey man, how you doing?
Not too bad.
All right, so I want to pitch a Bruce Brown trade, but before I wanted to ask you, do you really think the Raptors want to trade their second highest IQ player?
Who's their second highest IQ player?
I think Bruce Brown is their second highest IQ player.
All right. I agree.
Did you see how fast him and Scotty?
Oh, bro, I feel like we could have a conversation for days, bro. Because like this, like did you watch the Siakam game today?
Absolutely.
What'd you think?
I think. Well, my first thought was.
Did you just touch your face? Did you just touch your face? You'd be like, oh, like.
First of all, I was definitely rooting against the Pacers because I feel like all Raptor fans should be rooting against them.
I wasn't rooting against him at all. I was rooting for him, man, for my parlay. I needed him for my parlay. Fucked me over one last time. He's like, you want to talk shit about me on my way out? You said all this shit about me.
My first thought was Siakam hasn't played defense for 2 years, so that's why he was in foul trouble. He was like, I kind of feel bad for him because
he tried to do things that he hasn't done in years, and he was very ineffective at it.
Yeah, I feel bad because like they're trying to ask him to go backwards 5 years and become a defender. Like he hasn't defended for like 2-3 years, like since the 2022 season, right?
You noticed? Yeah. Like, I mean, I feel like I'm losing my mind, yo. I'll talk to people that swear to God, like, okay, I'm not gonna name names. This person has been called the smartest person to cover the NBA multiple times by like 100 different people.
Right.
And this person is saying he's a really great defender. He's a really good point of attack defender. And I'm looking at the screen. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? Like, it's crazy, man. I'm losing my mind. I'm just watching, like, what? No, he's not. He misses rotations all the time. There's guys cutting backdoor all the time. He's late. He doesn't put up his arms. It really does feel very frustrating and very lonely too, because you don't hear it anywhere. I feel like if you tell him, yo, this guy right there, guard him, he's gonna be great. Anything happens beyond that, like if someone had to play him one-on-one, they're dead. The minute you introduce a second or third variable into this, it gets troubling. Like there's some element of like lack of focus or something. Like there was this play today where Miles Turner gets the block and then somehow the ball bounces off and it's like I think DeAndre Ayton's right there and he just picks it up so many times, like the 66 points in the paint. And this is exactly what happened with the Raptors last year. This is exactly why they traded for Jakob Poeltl. Their paint defense was awful. They couldn't stop anybody. Everyone it was like a layup line. It was like a girl running trains in the bathroom. You know what I mean? Just like, oh my God. They're just running rotations, bro. Just these guys are like, I've never seen guys take easier layups. It was like warm-ups. It was crazy. So yeah, go ahead.
How'd you feel about the 2 missed free throws?
I don't really care about the missed free throws. That can happen to anybody. I'm not judging that. I don't give a shit about that. I don't care about results. He could miss every shot in the world. I wouldn't give a shit. He took good shots. I liked a lot of the shots that he took. The defense was very worrying for me. And the off-ball cutting, like anytime he didn't have the basketball, what was he doing with the ball? Because I honed in on him 1,000% today. He was basically like my whole screen. I even zoomed my screen in to watch him more. And it helps. I have a 60-inch screen and I zoom it in like twice just so I can like sort of track him a little bit better. And it's just like watching him sort of get lost. And it's totally fair. Like it's a new offense, but it's actually, they were simplifying everything. They simplified everything. They stripped it down to the bare minimums. So it is really funny because Yesterday I was commenting that Bruce Brown looks like he's been here for 5 years. And a lot of the guys like Chris Boucher and other guys, they look like they got here 5 minutes ago, right? That's just IQ. You can't you're not going to change that. Precious Achiuwa is going to look lost everywhere. It's just he doesn't know how to play basketball. And it's like it's funny because Scotty Barnes has said it multiple times, like about his smarter teammates. He's like, he knows how to play basketball. Like he said that about Jakob when he came. He's like, I feel like he knows how to play basketball. He said that about Bruce yesterday too. He's like, he really knows how to play basketball. I think because you've given him so many teammates who don't know how to play basketball, he has to articulate which ones do.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, the ones who don't know how to play are usually he's closest with, right? Unfortunately.
I mean, Christian knew how to play. OG, kind of
Precious. I was just talking about Precious, to be honest, but
yeah. I think
and he's actually close with Chris as well. Him and Chris have a nice relationship, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Kind of like big brother, right?
Yeah. I mean, Scotty's Scotty, man. Scotty's nice to everybody. You tell Scotty this guy's fucking you over, he's just gonna be like, nah, I'm not hearing that. He's my teammate. I love him. He's my brother. That's just Scotty. You know, Scotty's not a cynic. Scotty's like, he's brought up right. He's not like me at all. Like, if it was me, I would have probably punched 8 guys last year. So it's like we're a totally different mindset towards things. He doesn't understand, you know, that's not everyone is out for him. Not everyone is like looking out for him. But I think that's probably his best quality too. He's a very optimistic person. So, you know, leave it, I guess.
Scotty, he's loving Jonte. He's loving him.
Oh yeah, he loved Jonte. He loved Jeff Doughton as well. Like he really loved Jeff, and I know that for a fact. And I think eventually he's really gonna come around to loving RJ and IQ as well. I think they'll figure it out. Like you gotta like. I think like you put people that are just dissimilar enough, but like similar enough. Like they want to get to the same place. They have 2 ideas of how to get there. That's how you create like really interesting teammates. Like Shaq and Kobe, you know what I mean? Like they both wanted to be great. And I'm like, great. That will be the unifying factor through which you can motivate them. But if one of them was like, I want to be great, and the other one's like, you know what I mean? Like it's just a different thing. So Shaq wanted to dominate. He didn't know how to work. Kobe wanted to dominate. He didn't know how to work. That was their beef. So be it, you know? RJ and Scotty, like I think there's just a natural, I mean, they're similar age. They're such different people though. Such different personalities. So I think it can be a really good thing. Now it's actually balanced them out. And I love that Scotty went and saw Hamilton today with Jama Malalela. That's super cool. Culture capital, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so I wanted to pitch Bruce Brown because the reality is they still should probably trade him because his value is it's up to ass right now. But
he is valuable, yes.
You just kind of have to, and plus, you know, you kind of have to recoup some of the stuff you lost over the past few years. So I wanted to pitch a Sacramento trade. Have you done that yet?
No.
So I think he would look great in Sacramento because
I agree.
Like you can't have Bruce Brown with terrible spacing. You need like terrific spacing because you saw last night when they went small with Scotty, he just everything just opened up for him. Like you can't I've seen him being like some speculation with the Knicks. Like I think that would be disgusting.
I agree.
It's too clogged.
Yeah, they don't get it.
When you bring back Mitchell Robinson, it's going to be disgusting. Like it's Randall and DiVincenzo. It's too many. I think he's better than DiVincenzo. So like, you want to send him to a place where he can be like a nice, like a secondary ball handler, right?
Yeah. Can I politely request one thing from you?
Yeah,
can you call in more often? Like if you ever have time, like if you ever find yourself up and there's a post game, can you call in?
I'm usually always listening. Usually.
Are you? You should call, bro, because I'm telling you right now, like, I mean, just 18 things that you said probably in the last 15 minutes. I don't really know if the chat is vibing with it or whatever, but it's actually like giving me ideas about things that I haven't thought before. And I'm like, this is great. This is really good. Because right now, what you just said to me, it just made me think like I need to bring back this point that I made earlier. And I think like I think like through ping pong, the audience learns more. For instance, people think that space is all about shooting, right? It's all about like, oh, this guy shoots, so he creates space. Bruce Brown creates excellent space, but he also needs space to create space.
Right.
because all of the cutting that he does, it only works if the guy's out of the paint and there's actual angles to make these cuts, right? So when you put players who can actually shoot on the court, you completely change the angles. Similarly, if you put big players on the court, you change the angles. Like, for instance, playing against the Denver Nuggets, offensively, their size, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., Nikola Jokic, completely changes everything you do as a team because they have so much size, right? So suddenly everything that seems to work against a smaller team, like it just doesn't work against the Nuggets. And that's how they cope defensively. Michael Porter Jr. is not a great defender. Nikola Jokic is not a great defender. Jamal Murray, not a great defender. Their scheme works though. It floats. So that's my point. It's like Bruce Brown needs to enter a situation that creates gaps and space. Sacramento is the perfect place for Bruce Brown.
Yeah, it really is. So it's all right. So it's Kevin Herter and a heavily protected first. Do you think that's
That is
you
a
think
very, very good deal.
I saw it online. I kind of stole it, but
It's a really good deal. And they
I
should
mean it's a
absolutely
terrific
do it.
trade for the Raptors and for the Kings because the Raptors can keep the pick and then
How
just
protected are we
they,
talking? Lottery
that's
protected?
like probably at like top 15.
Okay, that doesn't give me okay, top 15 is basically top 14 anyways. Okay, 2026 lottery pick to the Raptors. This is a deal that has to happen. Holy shit, this is a good deal.
Yeah, I saw it online. I was like, man, stop the. I like people were talking about Grimes, Quentin Grimes, who I like, but like,
Would you give me the
can,
second? Would you give me the Detroit second if I lessen the protections on the 2026? If I made it top 8 protected?
Oh, absolutely, because you
Okay.
can get back a first for. You can just flip Kevin Herter. Get him to kind of, instill some stuff in Grady Dick, and then flip him in like 2 years, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like you just turn into OKC where you're just flipping guys, like Al Horford, and all of a sudden, in a few years you're back up, right?
Yeah. Let's see here. I gotta send out Bruce Brown. Does this work for the cap? Because Bruce Brown makes a lot more money. Yes, it does. It works. Oh my god. Okay. That's awesome. Okay, so 2026, first round, top 8 protected, plus Kevin Herter on 3-year contract for Bruce Brown. The Raptors create another trade exception, which is great because they're giving up way more than they're taking back in, so they get even more under the cap.
I know, yeah, I saw
or
that
under
as
the
well.
tax line. They get under the tax. They're not under the cap. This is great. This is a great trade. This makes sense.
And Kevin Herter you can just pick. He just slots in as the starter.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think this also opens the door like for Gary Trent trade.
Yeah, that's
Who
like
would you
the
trade?
next one.
Who needs Gary Trent?
For some reason, I keep thinking like I don't know. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I just kind of envision him going to LA because they kind of
Lakers.
need someone like that. Yeah.
I was literally thinking the same thing today.
And then
Okay.
package him up with Dennis, right?
Okay. All right.
Something
Okay.
like that.
And what are we getting back? Okay, you got $30 million there. You can take back upwards of 40. Unfortunately, they don't have any contracts.
Yeah,
Like
they
they
don't.
have Rui Hachimura and D'Angelo Russell. That is a yuck.
How long is the Hachimura contract?
3 years.
Yeah. He's not even going to
I
be a
mean,
starter.
if you did Gabe Vincent, which allegedly the Raptors were interested in him, right? Let's just try this out. Gabe Vincent. Okay, what's Vando's contract like?
Oh God.
It is 10 million, 11 million, 12 million, 13 million player option. Do you like Jared Vanderbilt?
I respect him. But I mean, you'd want guys around Scotty who are just skilled and can shoot. But
does the defense not appeal to you?
it does. It does in a bench role. Yeah, it does. Kind of like a charged up, Rondae Hollis. maybe.
Yeah. Let me check something. I just want to check one of like I have an online sort of database that I collect certain stats. Okay. So I mean, he's an elite defensive specialist and an elite offensive rebounder. Do you think that Darko and Jama could get something out of him offensively? He is horrible offensively. He is like possibly the worst He's like the worst offensive player in the league,
To
potentially.
be honest, I don't know too much about him because I didn't really watch the Timberwolves the past few years. So
Okay.
is he a good like a screener? Can he do the screen and roll?
Yes.
Okay.
So he has some utility on offense. Hang on. I'm gonna pull
Yeah,
up
can you
this.
go small ball 5 with him? Because Scotty's like just turned into a terrific small ball 5. Like it's actually insane.
That's true. Okay, let me
Insane.
stop
So
sharing that screen and let me share another screen with you. Okay, so this is, I think, a pretty good overview of who he is and who he's been. So, again, he forces turnovers. He's extremely versatile. Let's see how much time he spends guarding 5s. He does guard 5s 17.45% of the time, 14% of his time at power forward, 26% of his time at small forward, and he spends 27% of his time guarding shooting guards, and he spends 14% of his time guarding point guards.
yeah, he's like
It's
Scotty.
ridiculous. Yeah. His usage by play type is basically he has no usage by play type because he sucks on offense so badly. Like that's how bad he is. So his versatility index is very, let's say, OG Anunoby like. His
Yeah.
impact on defense is actually quite OG Anunoby like. Apart from rim defense, rim frequency, he's not a good paint protector, but as a perimeter defender, he's pretty interesting. Actually, I think this would be a really interesting opportunity to look at, just defensive roles and who does what. I think he's got some rover potential defensively,
Yeah, definitely, yeah. You're
but
kind of
like,
selling me. You're selling me on this. Like it's basically like it's a low risk like flyer. Like you can't
yeah, like
lose
you know
with
how
him.
like Precious Achiuwa came out and he said he's a top 5 defender in the NBA.
Yeah, he's a real defender. Yeah,
Like he's a real defender.
yeah.
Yeah, like so in terms of player roles. Okay, let's look at defense.
He's not having
And
any lapses.
yeah, he really doesn't screw up on defense. So like here are the top on-ball defenders in the NBA. Like you got your typical guys, and then you got like Aiden McDaniels, Drew Holiday, DeAnthony Melton, who we already talked about, OG Anunoby, Fred VanVleet, LeBron somehow making this list. Imani Kamara. Honestly, man, I watched this guy tonight. Jumps off the page to me. Like I know he scored 4 points. I don't give a shit about the points.
Yeah,
This guy's a
he's
player.
Yeah, he's a player.
He like really understands how to play basketball. He cuts correctly. He has like an athletic profile that projects well. I think they've got something really good in him. I could be wrong, but like I saw something in him today. I was just like, shoot, this guy is standing out to me. Patrick Williams, potentially. I just don't like the fact that he wants to get paid so much. Grayson Allen's been popping off. And to think that we could have gotten him for Fred VanVleet last year, he's shooting like 46% or 47% from 3 for the Suns right now.
Yeah, I know. Sucks.
Yeah, Quentin Grimes, any interest there? I mean, he's a pretty decent defender.
People really like him, but he can't really dribble. I don't really see any playmaking.
Passer rating is not bad. Passer rating is in the 40th percentile.
Well, he's high IQ, but he's not
exactly. So I mean, like he's more of like a connective passer as opposed to like an initiating passer, but he takes a lot of threes, and he's a decent rebounder, and I think he's like a half decent defender. Like I don't think he's like a lockdown defender, but he's like a decent defender. So I don't know. Like in terms of like versatility, he's not getting a ton of points for versatility because he doesn't really guard bigs, right? So he basically guards point guards, shooting guards, small forwards. But you don't really need a person to guard bigs at his position. I would just be happy that he guards point guards 28% of the time. That's actually not that bad. Yeah, he's like I think he works. I wonder how much of him you actually already have in Jordan Nwora. Like how big is the gap between him and Nwora? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's like a hype factor with Quentin Grimes because he plays in New York, and I think there's always like a hype factor with players who play in bigger markets. If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you play in New York, like man, the way people hype up Austin Reeves, you know what I mean? Like, or even Dennis Schroeder last year. Like, you go and play in New York, or how people are hyping up OG Anunoby right now. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Oh yeah. Oh god.
yeah.
Have you seen like the defensive player of the year odds? All of a sudden he's like higher than Bam. That's crazy.
Or yeah, that's crazy. But I mean, like, here's the thing: you do anything of substance in basketball in Boston or New York or in LA,
Oh
it's
my
going to
god.
matter so much more than if
Did
you
you
do
see
it
the
anywhere
Celtics
else.
game tonight?
No, I did not. They
Yeah.
lost, right?
Yeah, they were getting some calls at the end. There was like a fake a lane violation, like Jokic goaded Porzingis into a lane violation, and somehow the refs congregated and like the Celtics crowd bullied them into reversing the call. Like, just Celtics.
Wild. That's wild. Yeah, I'm not really sure what could be offered back for Dennis Schroeder. To get back to the trade, I'm not really sure what could be offered back for Dennis Schroeder and Gary Trent, other than Gabe Vincent and Rui Hachimura and probably a pick. Do they
Like
do
a
this?
second, right?
No, first. I think if
You
I'm the
think-
Raptors, I would demand a first. But of course, I'm not the Raptors here. You're the Raptors, so you tell me what you want, and I'll tell you what I can give.
Do you think we can get or do you think I could get Max Christie?
Yeah, but then you wouldn't get the first.
What are the protections on the first?
So I think I can give the 2029. I would do top 10 protected.
Oh, deal. Absolutely. Wait, how long is the Rui contract again? 3 years?
Yeah.
17?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, Gabe hasn't played yet. I miss Dennis, right? Gary provides me a little bit more shooting. Let me just look at Rui's season and just get a gauge on this. I think I might be overzealous here. I don't want to make a bad trade for the other team just to give the hometown a hometown win for the Raptors. Obviously, I'm a Raptors fan, but I want to do everything where, like, my goal with these is to basically say, if a Laker fan came here, they'd be like, this guy knows what he's talking about. You know what I mean? Like, I hate going on other pages and there's like Atlanta Hawks trade, Onyeka Okongwu for Scotty Barnes. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, oh, motherfucker, you really don't know what you're talking about. So, yeah, like, I think if I'm them, I would move off of Rui Hachimura for sure. He had like a really good pop last year, but I think overall he's been kind of weak. I don't know if necessarily Gary Trent Jr. is the guy like that. At least his 3-point percentage right now. Is he? Because they can't hit fucking threes right now, and he's hitting like 36%. Year before he was at 31%.
But you can re-sign him for a nice contract.
He's not a high volume 3-point shooter. I think is also a potential point of contention.
Sure, but you guys can re-sign him for next year for on the low.
Rui Hachimura?
No, Gary. You guys
That
can get
that
his
is
contract
that is the theory. Like, I don't know if I'm the Lakers right now, I want high volume 3-point shooting, and that's kind of like why I brought in Gabe Vincent, but he hasn't been healthy. So I guess it depends on like how they feel about Gabe Vincent. But yeah, I'm not like, I feel like I would be much more comfortable. I feel like I'm much more comfortable giving you Max Christie than this pick. But if I do give you this pick, I would like lottery protection on it, not top 10 lottery protection. So take the lottery protection on it, and then because like it's really like my only bargaining chip, like for a while, and I'm giving it up for Gary Trent Jr. And okay, what if I make it top 10 protected and you give me your Detroit second? Would you do that?
Top which year is the pick?
2029.
2029. Jeez. I don't know. I feel like Canadian Zach Edey, he might be at the 31st pick this year.
Yeah,
I
but you
kinda
already
want
have the 27th pick.
him. Yeah.
So you would pick Zach
Uh,
Edey with that pick.
we might. We kind of want another Canadian.
That's interesting.
No,
Let's see.
in all honesty, yeah.
Yeah, you would do this?
I'll do that.
Okay, I think that's pretty fair. I wonder how they feel about this. Obviously, I think they get fewer years locked down. That gives them more flexibility. That's probably a good thing. They could easily sign Dennis back. They could totally sign Gary back. It does make you wonder why they moved off of Dennis in the first place and moved towards Gabe. Do you know what I mean? Like, why would they do this? The contract difference is negligible. Is it because Dennis said, I want my own team? But it's like, yo, they started D'Angelo Russell a bunch this year. Like, you would have had your own team. You know, D'Angelo Russell is ass.
Yeah, I
That's the
never really thought about that. Yeah, because it's basically the same money.
It's almost the same, exactly. So it's like, did he wear out his welcome in?
I
Did he
feel
wear
like
out his welcome in the Lakers the way he has everywhere else?
Yeah, he might have. He might have been behind the scenes. But I feel like things were like that Warrior series they had where he kind of like I remember he was getting himself ejected and stuff, but he
Yeah.
really fitted in. Like it felt like they were
Yeah.
a match.
Yeah, I was listening to a Lakers podcast earlier today, and they were just like, we just need high volume 3-point shooters. I'm like, you know what? Gary Trent Jr. fills that need. And I kept thinking to myself, that's a place where I feel like he could shine too. Playing off of LeBron, playing off of AD, getting clean looks. I think he would thrive. For the Raptors side, I don't really know why you guys do this. I guess like there's a Nigerian connection, Gabe Vincent being Nigerian. Raptors kind of wanted him anyway. He chose the Lakers. Rui Hachimura, I could see like some upside on that too. Japanese player, Raptors like international players, gives you an in to the Japanese market. Plus, he's got some creation ability, he's got some potential. He's like the type of prospect that the Raptors could probably develop into something too, because he's got some offensive juice. Yeah, I think I like this. I like this trade for both teams. I feel like both teams get better in terms of like what they actually want. I think the Lakers get better in terms of like the players they're getting. But I think like the Raptors get like the better prospects, if that makes sense.
Yeah, this is a great trade for both.
Cool, man. That was very, very useful, Lil John. Thank you all. Thank you for coming on. And yeah, definitely call back anytime, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate
Have a good night. See ya.
You too.
All right. To the 237 of you listening at 3:30, you're awesome. I do want to warn you that I've been up since 7 a.m. So this was love and dedication for sure. Oh, there was a super chat. Oh, wait. There we go. That was it. I want to say thank you to everyone who energized. I want Jet Emma from Howard from the Magic. The cap locks. Oi. Yikes. Sorry, guys. I have not been able to keep up with the chat, but I'm really happy that you guys have been able to keep yourselves indulged with each other, which is pretty cool too. I like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I remember being on a live once. I think it was a Twitch stream or something, and I started talking about something else with somebody who mentioned something, and then a moderator's like, "Please stay on topic." And I remember thinking to myself, like, fuck this place, right? I've always really appreciated that you guys have your own conversations while we're having a conversation, and the conversation just becomes like I don't know. It's cool. It's cool. I think that's a really great thing. So yeah, I just want to say thank you all for joining us. Please make sure to hit like and subscribe and all that good shit. If I was a little bit short with people today, man, I think it's because I'm tired. I probably shouldn't be doing these when I'm so tired. I woke up at 7:30 in the morning. I have drank 3 cups of coffee today. I have not slept yet. I'm damn exhausted. I hope this live was a pretty useful exercise. Hopefully we can do another one closer to the trade deadline. Obviously, I don't want to make every single day trade day, but I meant what I said earlier. I really, really want these lives, especially the ones that pertain to trades, to be an opportunity to learn a little bit more about players. What did we learn today? DeAnthony Melton's a fucking fantastic player. I hope that's what we learned today, you know? So that's interesting. Yeah. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. And as I said, make sure to hit like on this video on your way out. It would really, really help a lot. Thanks. Bye.